Hello everyone, welcome to Infinity Learn by Sri Chaitanya. My name is Vibhati and in today's session I will discuss AITS test number 2 physics portion with you. So let's start with the first question. If force, velocity and time are taken as fundamental quantities, then the dimension of work is, what is the dimension of work in terms of force, velocity and time? So what is the dimension of work, bachcho? It is ml square T minus 2. Okay, dimension of work is ml square T minus 2. So it is work is force into displacement. Force is ml T minus 2. Displacement is ml square T L. So it will be ml square T minus 2. Now, if you multiply one by one the dimensional formula of this one, like force is mlt minus 2, velocity is lt minus 1 into time is t. So this will cancel this. So you will get ml square t minus 2 as the same dimensional formula as the work done. So correct answer is option 1. Next is, in an experiment the percentage of error occurred in the measurement of the A is for 1%, B is 4, C is 3 and D is 2%. So what is the total percentage error in the measurement of X? So it will be 3 into 1 plus B to the power is 1 into 4 plus 1 by 2 into 3 plus 3 into 2. So this is 3 plus 4 plus 1.5 plus 6. So this will give you an answer of 14.5%. Next is, the area under acceleration time graph gives you what? Change in velocity. So correct answer is 4. When 1 centimeter thick surface is illuminated with light of wavelength lambda, the stopping potential is V. So EV is equals to hc by lambda minus work function phi. When the same surface is illuminated by light of wavelength 2 lambda, stopping potential is V by 3. So EV by 3 is equals to hc upon lambda by 2, it is 2 lambda minus phi, right? So you can put the value of EV in this equation. So it will be hc by lambda minus phi divided by 3 is equal to hc divided by 2 lambda minus phi. So this is hc by lambda minus phi is equal to 3 hc divided by 2 lambda minus 3 phi. So this 2 phi will give you what? 1 by 2 hc divided by lambda. So from this one you can find the value of phi as hc divided by 4 lambda and it is equal to hc divided by lambda naught, because work function is hc divided by threshold wavelength. So lambda naught will be 4 lambda and it will give you an answer of 2. Next is, hydrogen atoms are excited from ground state to the state of principal quantum number 4. Number of spectral lines observed will be, so it will be n into n minus 1 divided by 2, that is 4 into 4 minus 1 divided by 2, that is 6, option 2. Next is, a rod of length 1 meter having cross sectional area this conducts heat this one, then the temperature difference across the rod is. So H is equals to Ka delta theta upon L. So delta theta is HL divided by Ka. H is given as 6000, L is given as 1 divided by K is 200 and A is K is given as 0.7, A is given as 0.75. So this will be 30. So this will be 30 divided by 3 by 4 and it will give you 40 degrees Celsius. So correct answer is option 2. Next is, the wavelength of maximum emitted energy of a body at 700 Kelvin is 4.08 micrometer. So according to Wien's displacement curve, lambda 1 T1 is equal to lambda 2 T2. So for lambda 1, 4.08 micrometer into T1 700 is equal to lambda 2 at temperature T2 is 1400, right? So lambda 2 will be 4.08 into 700 divided by 1400 and this will give you 2.04 micrometer. So correct answer is option 4. Next is this one. A long thin hollow metallic cylinder of radius r has a current I ampere. This is a hollow metallic cylinder, so there will be no magnetic field inside the cylinder. So correct answer will be this. Once you move outside the cylinder, magnetic field is inversely proportional to r. So correct answer is this for B versus R graph. Next is an electron enters a magnetic field whose direction is perpendicular to the velocity of the electron. In this motion, when velocity and magnetic field are perpendicular to each other, speed of the particle remains constant. So the speed of the electron will remains the same. Correct answer is option 3. Next is a galvanometer coil has a resistance 15 ohm and the meter shows full deflection of a current of 4 milliampere. To convert the meter into a voltmeter, we need to add one resistance in series, and the range should be 0 to 18 volt. So what will be the required resistance? So we know that 15 plus R into Ig, that is 4 into 10 power minus 3 is equal to 18. So this will give you 15 plus R is equal to, this is 4.5 into 10 power 3. So R will be 4500 minus 15, that is equal to 4485 ohm. So required resistance is 4485 ohm in series, which is option 2. Next is 11. During an adiabatic process, the pressure of a gas is found to be proportional to 4th power of temperature. So P T tau power minus 4 is equal to constant. And we know that for adiabatic process, the equation is P T power gamma upon gamma minus 1 is equal to constant. So basically gamma upon gamma minus 1 minus gamma is equal to minus 4. So gamma upon 1 minus gamma is equal to minus 4. So gamma is minus 4 plus 4 gamma. So 4 is equals to 3 gamma. So gamma is 4 upon 3. So Cp upon Cv is gamma, which is equal to 4 upon 3 in this question. Next is when the temperature of a gas is raised from 127 degrees Celsius to 211 degrees Celsius, the percentage increase in the RMS velocity of the molecule is. So Vrms is directly proportional to under root T. So V1 upon V2 is equal to under root of T1 upon T2. T1 is 127 plus 273 Kelvin, so this is 400 Kelvin. And T2 is 127 plus 211, so this is this will be 211 plus 273, so this will be 484 Kelvin. So V1 upon V2 is coming out as under root of T1, that is 400, divided by T2 is 484, and this is equal to 20 upon 22. So percentage change in velocity is V2 minus V1 divided by V1 into 100. So you can write it as V2 upon V1 minus 1 into 100%. V2 upon V1 is 22 divided by 20 minus 1 into 100%. So this will give you an answer of 10%, which is option 1. Next is question number 13. A cycle wheel of radius 0.5 meter is rotated with constant angular velocity 20 radian per second in a region of magnetic field 0.2 Tesla, which is perpendicular to the plane of the wheel. The EMF generated is, so EMF generated is half B omega L square. So it is half B is 0.2, omega is 20 and L square is 0.5 into 0.5. So this 20 will cancel this 20, this 0.5 into 2 is 1 and 1 into 0.5 is 0.5 volt. So correct answer is option 4. Next is a body is thrown horizontally from the top of a tower of height 5 meter. It touches the ground at a distance of 10 meter, range of the projectile is 10 meter. The initial velocity is, so range is given as u under root 2h upon g. So over here it is 10 is equal to u under root 2 into 5 upon g as 10. So 10 upon 10, 1, under root 1 is 1, so u is equal to 10 meter per second, and that is option 3. Next is this one. A particle of mass 0.5 kilogram is at rest. A force F starts acting on the particle, which varies according to the Ft graph shown in the figure. The kinetic energy of the particle at the end of 3 seconds. So Ft graph area will give you what? Momentum. So P is this area 10 into 2 plus area of this triangle, that is half base into height. So this will be 25 Newton into second. Okay. Now kinetic energy is P square upon 2m. So this is 25 into 25 divided by 2 into 0.5. So this will give you 625 joules. Next is, as the mass number increases, the binding energy per nucleon of a nucleus. So binding energy per nucleon of a nucleus with mass number, we have certain sorry, this is not the graph, this is something like this. Graph is something like this. Initially it increases, then with increase in mass number, binding energy per nucleon decreases, right? So correct answer is option 3. Next is question number 17. In N-type semiconductor, which of the following statement is true? So in N-type semiconductor, holes are minority carriers and pentavalent atoms are dopant, because for pentavalent atoms there will be, from pentavalent atom there will be free electrons which will be in majority carrier, right? So in N-type semiconductor, holes are minority and pentavalent atoms are dopant. Next is 18. A conveyor belt is moving at a constant speed of 2 meter per second. A box is gently dropped on it. So initially it will gain a velocity of 2 meter per second. Its coefficient of friction is 0.5. So retardation will be mu g in the backward direction, which is 0.5 into 10, that is 5 meter per second square. The distance that the box will move related to the belt before coming to rest on it. So we know that V square is equals to U square plus 2AS. So over here V square will be 0, U square will be 2 square plus 2, A will be minus 5 into S. So S will be 4 divided by 10, and that is equal to 0.4 meter. So correct answer is option 4. Next is question number 19. A ball at rest is dropped from a height of 12 meter. So after striking, it will gain a velocity of under root 2 gh, which is equal to under root 2 into 10 into 12, that is under root 240 meter per second. So when it is striking the ground, its kinetic energy is half m v square, which is half m into 240, because v square is under root 240 ka square. Now it loses 25% of its kinetic energy on striking the ground. So remaining 75%, that is 3/4 of the kinetic energy, will be half m into 240 times 3/4, and this, with this kinetic energy, it will rise again to a height h. So what will happen? This total kinetic energy will be total potential energy at the highest point. So this kinetic energy will convert into mgh. Mm cancel, so we have this is 30, so we have 90 is equals to g into h. So h will be 9 meter. So correct answer is option 3. Next is this one. A long-sighted person has a minimum distance of distinct vision of 50 centimeter. We have a long-sighted person and its minimum distance of distinct vision is 50 centimeter. He wants to reduce it to 25 centimeter. He should use which lens and with what focal length? Okay, so that is our question, bachcho. Long-sighted person, he can see up to 50 centimeter only. We want to reduce it to 25 centimeter. So what is the kind of lens that he should use and what should be the focal length of that one? So use 1 upon f is equals to 1 upon v minus 1 upon u over here. So it will give you 1 upon f is equals to 1 upon, this will give you minus 1 upon 50 plus 1 upon 25, and this 50 will be LCM 1 minus 1 plus 2, and this will be 1 upon 50. So focal length is coming out as 50 centimeter and it will be a convex lens. So correct answer is option 3. Next is 21. Find the wrong statement for a convex lens for a real object. So for a real object, a virtual image produced by the convex lens will be lesser than the size of the object, right? So it can produce a virtual erect image of the same size. It is not true. So correct answer is option 4. Next is the fringe width in Young's double slit experiment does not depend on. It depends on the wavelength of light used. Okay, it is it depends on the separation between the slits. It depends on the distance between the slit and slit screen, capital D, small d and lambda. But it does not depend on the width of the individual slits. So correct answer is option 4. Next is 23. Two spheres A and B collide. If the momentum of A is doubled in the collision, then we don't know what is the nature of the collision, but we know that in collision for sure momentum is conserved. So total momentum of A and B is always constant. So correct answer is option 4. 24. The position of center of mass of system of particle does not depend on. It depends on mass of the particle, symmetry of the body, position of the particle. It does not depend on the nature of the particle. Next is this one. We have 3 thin rods, each of length L and mass M are placed along X, Y and Z axis such that one end of each rod is at the origin like this. The radius of gyration of the system about Z axis. About Z axis, so moment of inertia of this rod about Z axis is ml square by 3. Moment of inertia of this rod about Z axis is ml square by 3. Moment of inertia of this rod about Z axis is 0, and that is equal to 3mk square. Right, so we have 2 ml square by 3 is equal to 3mk square, mm cancel. So k will be under root 2l upon 3. So correct answer is option 1. Next is question number 26. A solid cylinder is rolling down on a rough inclined plane. Angle of inclination is 30 degree. This is solid cylinder. So its mk square is mr square by 2, moment of inertia. So k square upon r square is 1 by 2 for solid cylinder. The acceleration of the solid cylinder is a is equals to g sine theta upon 1 plus k square upon r square. So g sine 30 degrees 1 by 2 divided by 1 plus k square upon r square is 1 plus 1 by 2. So it is g by 2 divided by 3 by 2, that is equal to g by 3. So correct answer is option 3. Next is question number 27. A transverse wave is represented by the equation this. For what value of lambda is the maximum particle velocity is equal to 2 times the wave velocity. So maximum particle velocity is a omega, and that is equal to 2 times wave velocity. A is amplitude, y naught. Omega is omega is the coefficient of t, so it is 2 pi by lambda into v, and that is equal to 2 times velocity. 2v cancel, so we have lambda is equals to y naught into pi. Okay? So correct answer is option 4. Next is this one. A spring block system undergoes vertical oscillations above a large horizontal metal sheet with uniform positive charge. The time period of oscillation is t. If the block is given a charge q, its time period of oscillation will be, g, because it will be 2 pi. Time period of oscillation over here is just a second. We have a spring block undergoes vertical oscillation, right? And okay, with uniform positive charge. Now if the block is given a charge q, its time period of oscillation is, so it is independent of the value of the g effective, right? So it will be t again. So correct answer is option 1. Next is question number 29. An aluminum rod has a breaking strength 0.2%. Delta L upon L is 0.2 divided by 100. The minimum cross-sectional area of the rod in meter square in order to support a load of 10 power 4 Newton if Young's modulus is this. So Young's modulus into delta L upon L is equal to F upon A. So A will be FL divided by gamma delta L, right? So F is 10 power 4, then we have divided by y is 7 into 10 power 9 into delta L upon L, put it like this, so it will be 0.2 into 100. So this will be 10 power minus 3 divided by 1.4, right? 10 power minus 3 divided by 1.4. So this will give you an approximate answer of, I'll have to solve it, 5 divided by 7 into 10 power minus 3, okay. This will go up, this is 5 divided by 7, so 0.71 into 10 power minus 3. So this will be approximately 7.1 into 10 power minus 4. Okay, so correct answer is option 3. Next is question number 30. Kepler's second law is a consequence of. So it is a consequence of conservation of angular momentum, which is option 3. Next is 31. In a region of space, the electric field is given by this unit. The electric flux through the surface of area 100 unit in xy plane. So if area is in xy plane, its area vector will be in z, along z axis. So area vector will be 100 k cap. Flux is E vector dot A vector. So this will be 8i cap plus 4j cap plus 3k cap dot 100k cap. So their dot product will be 300 units. So correct answer is option 2. Next is this one. An electric dipole is placed at an angle of 30 degree with the electric field intensity 2 into 10 power 5, theta is 30 degree and torque is 4 Newton into meter. Find the length of the dipole if charge on the dipole is 2 millicoulomb. Okay. So torque is Pe sin theta. It is 4 is equal to P is 2 into 10 power 5 sin 30 degrees 1 by 2. So P is 4 into 10 power minus 5, right? P is Q into L is equal to 4 into 10 power minus 5. Q is 2 into 10 power minus 3 into L is equal to 4 into 10 power minus 5. L is 2 into 10 power minus 2 meter, which is equal to 2 centimeter. Next is question number 33. When an unknown resistance and a resistance of 4 ohm are connected in the left and right gaps of the meter bridge, the balance point is at 50 centimeter. That means R upon 4 is equal to 50 upon 50, that is 1. The shift in the balance point if a 4 ohm resistance is now connected in parallel to the resistance in the right gap. Okay. So this is our right gap mein we are connecting 4 ohm in parallel with 4. So their effective will be 2 ohm. And let's say new balance point is at a distance L from the left, right? So this will be R upon 2 is equal to L upon 100 minus L. R is equal to 4, so 4 upon 2 is equals to L upon 100 minus L. So this will give you 200 minus 2L is equal to L. So L will be 200 divided by 3, that is equal to 6.7 centimeter. So earlier it was at 50 centimeter, now the balance point is at 66.7 centimeter. So shift will be 66.7 minus 50, that is 16.7 centimeter, which is option 2. Next is this one, question number 34. Point charges Q1, that is 2 microcoulomb and minus 1 microcoulomb are kept at a point 0 and 6. So let's say this distance is 6 meter. Electric potential will be 0 at a points. So let's say it is 0 at this point. It is at a distance of x from 2 microcoulomb and it is at a distance of 6 minus x from 2 microcoulomb. So potential due to 2 microcoulomb is K 2 micro divided by R plus this is K minus 1 micro divided by 6 minus x and it should be 0. So you can take k micro common and cancel it out. So we are left with 2 upon x minus 1 upon 6 minus x is equals to 0. So this will give you 12 minus 2x is equals to x and 3x is equals to 12. So x will be 4 meter. So first point is x is equals to 4 meter. Now let's assume that second point is somewhere over here, right? So I'll make a new diagram for that one. So this is 2 microcoulomb, this is minus 1 microcoulomb, and point P is the point where the net potential is 0. So this is 6, this is x. So for 2 microcoulomb potential at point P is K 2 micro divided by 6 plus x plus K for 1 micro minus 1 micro, it is K minus 1 micro divided by x is equals to 0. So after solving this one, you will get the value of x as 12 meter. So correct answer is option 3. Next is 35. An electron is associated with accelerated through a potential difference of 1600 volt. Its de Broglie wavelength associated is, so de Broglie wavelength for electron is 12.27 angstrom divided by under root V, where V is the potential difference 1600. So it is 12.27 angstrom divided by under root of 1600, so it is 12.27 angstrom divided by 400, right? So this will be approximately 12.27 into 10 power minus 10 divided by 400. So this is 100, this is 3.07 approximately, and it is 10 power minus 12. So it is 3.07 into 10 power minus 12. Right, so this is minus 10, right, it is minus 10 and it is 10 power minus 11, sorry 10 power minus 11, okay. So correct answer is option 3. Next is this one, as shown in the figure, a metal rod makes contact with the rails and this completes the circuit. The circuit is perpendicular to the magnetic field, B is 0.015 Tesla. Resistance is 3 ohm. Force needed to move the rod as indicated with a constant speed 2 meter is. So force is B square V L square divided by R. B is 0.15 into 0.15, V is 2, L square is 1 by 2 1 by 2 and R is 3. So this will 10 power 4, this will cancel this will be 5, and by 2 into 10 power minus 4, so this will be 7.5 into 10 power minus 4, so this will be 3.75 into 10 power minus 3 Newton, which is option 1. Next is question number 37. 1 10 volt and 60 watt bulb is to be connected to 100 volt line. The required induction coil has self inductance of value where frequency is 50 hertz. Okay, so we have resistance of the bulb as over here current is, sorry, we have one bulb and we are connecting it to 100 volt line and F is 50 hertz. Okay, so in this case VI is equal to power, so I is equals to power upon V, and power is 60 divided by V is 10, so this will be 6 ampere, right? Now V is over here, this is resistive as well as inductive, so it is under root of VR square plus VL square. Okay, but V over here is given as 100 and that is equal to under root of VR square plus VL square. So from this one you will get the value of approximately the value of VL as 99.5 volt. Okay, now we need to find the value of self inductance. So VL is IXL and XL is 2 pi FL. So 99.5 is equal to I, that is 6 into 2 pi, F is 50 into L. So after solving this one, you will get the value of L as 0.052 Henry, which is option 1. Next is question number 38. The coefficient of performance of a refrigerator is phi if the temperature of the inside of the freezer, there is minus 20 degrees Celsius, which is minus 20 plus 273, so it is 253 Kelvin. The temperature of the surrounding to which it rejects heat. So we need to find the value of T1. So it is T2 upon T1 minus T2, right? So you can write it as 2 phi T1 minus phi T2 is equal to T2. So 6 T2 is equals to phi T1, right? So we know T2, right? So T1 will be 6 upon phi into T2, that is 253, and it will give you an answer of 303.6 Kelvin. If you subtract it with 273, you will get it as 31 degrees Celsius approximately. Next is, okay, there is no circuit. Next is this one. A stone is tied to a string of length L and is moving in a vertical circle such that the tension in the string at the highest position is 0. That means minimum velocity with which it should be thrown is under root phi GL. If the angle, find the angle theta of the string with lowest position when tension in the string is equal to weight of the stone. Find the angle theta of the string with the lowest position when the tension in the string is equal to weight of the stone. So at this position, this is tension, this is theta, this is mg. So this component will be mg cos theta. So net centripetal forces T minus mg cos theta is equal to mv square upon L. Now if L is the length of the string, then this is L cos theta. So gain in height of the body is L minus L cos theta. So let's apply a work energy theorem or conservation of mechanical energy. So at the lowest point it is half mv square, which is phi GL, is equal to half mv square plus mg L. L is L minus L cos theta. So you can cancel m. So you will get phi GL by 2 minus GL minus GL cos theta is equal to half V square. So you can put the value of V square from this equation over here. M upon L into V square is it is phi GL minus 2GL minus 2G cos theta, right? And after solving this one, the tension over here T is given as weight, which is equal to W, right? So tension is W and it is equal to mg, right? So you can write it as mg minus mg cos theta is equal to m upon L into 3GL minus 2G cos theta, right? So you can cancel m. So this is GL minus GL cos theta is equal to 3GL minus 2G cos theta. So we have 3G cos theta, 3GL cos theta, GL cancel, is equal to 2. So cos theta will be over here minus 2 by 3. So correct answer is cos inverse minus 2 by 3 as your angle, right? So apply conservation of mechanical energy and centripetal force equation. Next is question number 41. A block of rectangular size of mass m and area of cross section A floats in a liquid of density rho. If we give a small vertical displacement from the equilibrium, it undergoes SHM with a time period t. So we need to find the relation between time period and its density over here. So time period is 2 pi under root L upon G, right? And it is initially floating. So its mg is balanced by its buoyant force rho Vg. Okay, and over here rho V is its area of cross section is A, and L is length into G is equal to mg. Cancel, so L is m upon rho A. Okay, L is m upon rho A. So time period T will be 2 pi under root L upon which is m upon rho A into G. So you can see that from this one, you can see that it is time is inversely proportional to under root rho. So T square is inversely proportional to rho. So correct answer is option 1. Next is question number 42. Water falls from a height of 60 meter at a rate of 15 kilogram per second to operate a turbine. The losses due to the frictional forces are 10% of the energy. How much power is generated by the turbine? So it will be 90% of mgh upon T. So m upon T is given as 15, G is 10 and H is 60, and into 90%, that is 0.9. So after solving this one, you will get the answer as 8.1 kilowatt, which is option 3. Next is question number 43. We have two sources, A and B are sounding notes of frequency 700 Hz. A listener moves from A to B with constant velocity u. If the speed of the sound is 350 meter per second, what must be the value of u so that 8 beats per second are heard? So for A, B, frequency is 700 Hz, listener is moving away from A and towards B. So apparent frequency of A heard by the listener will be V minus VO divided by V into F, and apparent frequency of B heard by the listener will be V plus VO divided by V into F. So their frequency F2 dash minus F1 dash should be 8. Beat frequencies, change in difference in frequencies. So this should be 8. That means V plus VO divided by V into F minus V minus VO divided by V into F should be 8. So this will give you 1 plus, okay, let's solve it. This will give you F plus F V naught upon V minus F V upon V minus F V naught upon V. So this will cancel this. So we have, sorry, this is plus. So 2F V naught upon V as 8. F is 800, V naught is unknown, and V is 350. So you'll get V naught as 8 into 350 divided by 2 into 700. So this will give you an answer of, if I'm not wrong, this will give you approximately, I have calculation with me, that is 2 meter per second. That is option 1. Next is question number 44. 4 conductors of same resistors connected in the form of a square, like this. If resistance between diagonally opposite corners is 8 ohm, so between this corner and this corner, resistance is 8 ohm. The resistance between any two adjacent corners is, so R and R are in series, so their equivalent is 2R. This are 2 series, 2R, 2R, 2R parallel, so equivalent is R, and R is given as 8 ohm. Now if you want to find resistance between any two adjacent corners, so this is R, R, R. So this is 3R, 3R and R are in parallel, so their equivalent combination will be 1 upon 3R plus 1 upon R. 3R is the LCM, so this will be 4, and that is equal to 1 upon R equivalent. So R equivalent will be 3R upon 4, so this is 3 into R is 8 divided by 4. So correct answer is 6 ohm, which is option 4. Next is question number 45. So this will be an ideal fluid flows in the pipe as shown in the figure. The pressure in the fluid at the bottom P2 is same as that of the P1. So P1 is equal to P2. If the velocity of the top is 2 meters per second, then the ratio of A1 to A2 is. Okay, so let's apply equation of continuity in Bernoulli. So for first it is P1 plus rho g H1 plus half rho V1 square is equal to P2 plus rho g H2 plus half rho V2 square. P1, P2 are equal. Now we can write rho g H1 minus H2 is given as 3 meter. So rho g H1 minus rho g H2 is half rho V2 square minus V1 square, right? Rho cancel. H1 minus H2 is given as, over here H1 minus H2 is given as 3 meter. So this is g H1 minus H2 is equal to half V2 square minus V1 square, right? So this will be 6g, that is 60 is equals to V2 square minus V1 square. Now V1 square is given as 4 because V1 is 2. So V2 square is 64, so V2 is 8 meter per second, right? So ratio of A1 to A2, so A1 V1 is equal to A2 V2. So A1 to A2 is V2 to V1. V2 is 8, V1 is 2, so ratio is 4:1, which is option 2. Next is this one, 46. The magnetic field at a point P on the axial line of a short bar magnet is 5 microtesla due south. So it is in the same direction of magnetic dipole moment. Now the magnet is turned 90 degree in anti-clockwise direction. So we are turning it in anti-clockwise direction like this. So this will be the direction of magnetic moment. Then the magnetic field at the same point P would be, okay, this is the same point P, sorry, it is below, would be. So this will be in the opposite direction of its magnetic dipole moment, because this is equatorial point now. So this will be due west, and magnetic field due to equatorial point is half of the magnetic field at the axial point, right, for a short dipole. So this will be 5 microtesla divided by 2, that is 2.5 microtesla due west, which is option 2. Next is this one, the maximum electric field of a plane electromagnetic wave is 88, okay, volt per meter. The average energy density is, so it is half epsilon naught E square. So half epsilon naught is 8.82 into 10 power minus 11 into E square is 88 ka square. So this will give you an answer of 3.4 into 10 power minus 8 joule per meter cube. Next is this one, 48. We have a number of capacitors, each of capacitance 1 microfarad, and each one of which gets punctured if a potential difference just exceeding 500 volt is applied, are provided. Then an arrangement suitable for giving a capacitance of 2 microfarad across which 3000 volt may be applied requires at least. Okay, so we need to find, okay, so we need a combination across which we want to find 3000 volt. Okay, so for 3000 volt, and one can hold up to 500. So in series you can have 6 capacitors one by one, each having 500 volt capacitor, 500 volt potential difference, right? Now, but each is 1 microfarad, so this is equivalent to 1 by 6 microfarad. Okay, this entire series combination should be 1 by 6 microfarad, C upon N, right? Now total capacitance should be 2 microfarad, right? So we should add similar lines, similar structures in the parallel to get 12 microfarad. Let's say, so I'm adding n number of rows having 6 capacitors in series to get a capacitance of 2 microfarad. So n into C will be the total capacitance in parallel, right? And that should be 2. So n will be 2 into C is 1 by 6, so it is 6, so it is 12 number, okay. So n is 12, that means I should add 12 rows in parallel having 6 capacitor in each row. So total capacitors required are 12 into 6, that is 72. Correct answer is option 3. Next is question number 49. Raindrop reaching the ground with terminal velocity has momentum p. Another drop of twice the radius also reaching the ground with terminal velocity will have momentum. So momentum is mass into velocity, mass is density into volume, and density is volume is directly proportional to r to the power 3, and terminal velocity is directly proportional to r square. So momentum is directly proportional to r to the power 5. So when you are increasing the radius to 2 times, momentum will increase 2 to the power 5 times, that is 32p. Next is question number 50. A ray of light falls at angle of incidence 60 degree on one face of the prism of angle 30 degree. Emerging ray makes an angle of 30 degree with the incident. Delta is equals to I1 plus I2 minus A. Right. So in this case, the refractive index of the material of the prism is. So delta is 30 degree, I1 is 60 plus I2 minus A is 30. So I2 is equal to 0. So if I2 is 0, then R2 will be 0, right? So in this case, you can write one more thing, that is about A. A is R1 plus R2, right? So A is 30 degree, R1, R2 is 0. So R1 is 30 degree. So this angle is 30 degree. Apply Snell's law for this one. So it is 1 into sine 60 degree is equal to mu into sine 30 degree, that is 1 by 2. So mu is under root 3, okay. Mu will be under root 3. I hope it is clear. So correct answer in this one will be 1.73, which is option 4, okay. ठीक है. So this is your question number 50.
Hi everyone. In this video we will be discussing about the questions of chemistry. So let's begin. First question. Wavelength of electromagnetic radiation having a wave number. So here we are given wave number and we need to calculate the wavelength. So very easy question. We know that wave number is equal to inverse of wavelength. So I need to calculate the wavelength. So I'll rearrange it and this will be right like this. Now 1 into 1 divided by 10 raised to power 7 per meter. So what will it be? It will be 1 by 2 into 10 raised to power minus 7 meter. Now let's see the options. In options what I have in terms of 50, so it will be 0.5 into 10 raised to power minus 7 meter, or I can say it will be 5 into 10 raised to power minus 8 meter. Now coming to the options are not in terms of meter, they are in terms of another units. For example, micrometer. So micrometer means, this means 5 into 10 raised to power minus 6, right? This angstrom means this much into 10 raised to power minus 10 meter. 500 picometer means 500 into 10 raised to power minus 12 meter, and 50 nanometer means 50 into 10 raised to power minus 9 meter. So I'll check which of the options matching my answer. My answer is 5 into 10 raised to power minus 8. So as of now it is not matching any other option. Can it be micrometer? Can it be micrometer? No, we have 10 raised to power minus 6 and minus 8 here. This value is less, that value is more. So no, it is not the answer. Again, what it will be? 5 into 10 raised to power minus 6. Same, it will not be the answer. Next, 5 into 10 raised to power minus 10. This will be what? Minus 10? This will not be the answer. What will be the answer? 50 into 10 raised to power minus 9 or 5 into 10 raised to power minus 8. So my answer is 4, that is 50 nanometer. Is it clear? Next question. Lithium and magnesium show similar properties. Yes, diagonal relationship, right? Remember, they show similar properties because of diagonal relationship. ये रिश्ता क्या कहलाता है? ये रिश्ता कहलाता है diagonal relationship. So this is correct. Next, lithium and magnesium ion have same polarizing power. So if they are showing similar type of properties, we can also say that they have same polarizing power. So in that case, both of the statements are correct. So what is the answer? Answer has to be statements 1 and 2 are correct. Next, hydrogen peroxide neither undergoes oxidation nor reduction in its reaction with. So generally hydrogen peroxide is an oxidizing agent, also a reducing agent. It can show both type of reactions, but with one of these compounds it is actually not showing redox reaction, it is reacting in different way. So with manganese what it will do, this can increase its oxidation state. So if we are adding hydrogen peroxide, it will undergo definitely a redox reaction. Similarly with HOCl, similarly with this. Now when I am talking about barium hydroxide, barium is in +2 oxidation state. It can change its oxidation state, but with hydrogen peroxide what happens? H2O2 plus barium hydroxide. This is actually a neutralization reaction. Here it will behave as an acid, it will behave as a base, and neutralization reaction will take place forming BaO2 plus water. So this is now a neutralization reaction. Instead of redox reaction, you will see that the oxidation states will remain same here, and it will form what? It will form barium peroxide, right? And it is a neutralization reaction which is not a redox reaction. So what is my answer? Answer is option number 1. Clear? Moving to the next question. Which of the following statement is incorrect? Okay. Atomic mass of calcium is 40 U. This is correct. Molar mass of oxygen is 32 U. Molar mass cannot be expressed in U. It has the unit gram or gram per mole. So molar mass of oxygen is 32 gram, not 32 U. So this is incorrect option. So answer has to be this. Now let us look the other option as well. Atomic weight is my 24 U, correct. Gram molecular weight is 2 gram, correct. Now remember, when I am talking about atomic weight or atomic mass, right, molecular weight or molecular mass, then they are expressed in what? U, unified mass. But when I am talking about molar mass or gram atomic mass, gram atomic mass or gram molecular weight, in that case they are usually expressed in grams, right? So molar mass is what? It is the mass of 1 mole of oxygen. So it has to be in gram, it is not U. Use the unit of atomic mass. Now we are here we are talking about 1 mole. So it has to be in grams, so it is 32 grams. So second option is the incorrect statement and our answer. Yes, next question. Number of lone pairs on the central atom. Now coming to ammonia, a very simple example. Ammonia has 1 lone pair, it has the pyramidal structure. So right, so ammonia number of lone pair 1. So 1 A should match with 4. Now I will check the option. In which options A is matching with 4? In 3 options. So this will be eliminated. Now coming to the next option, that is water. So water is bent. We have 2 lone pairs on water, right? So water has to be 2. So B has to match with second. Let's see, B is matching with second and only 1. Okay, so this has to be the answer. Now ammonia 1 lone pair, correct. Water 2 lone pair, correct. CCl4, it is a tetrahedral. Tetrahedral, no lone pair. So D has to be 0 and the other has to be 3. You can see XeF2 is linear with 3 lone pairs. What is the geometry? TBP, trigonal bipyramidal. So what is my answer? My correct option is option number 1. Yeah. Next option. Next question, sorry. The hybridization of central atom in SF4 molecule and the shape of SF4R. So first I will find the shape. How can I find the shape? On the basis of number of electron pairs. What are the number of bond pairs? 4. Why? Because it is equal to the number of surrounding atoms. Central atom is sulfur, fluorine is the surrounding atom. So bond pairs are 4. Now coming to the lone pairs. Lone pairs will be 6. Number of valence electrons on central atom minus number of electrons participating in bonding. So it will be 4 into 1, 4 divided by 2. This is 4, right? So it will be 1. Bond pair 4, lone pair 1. Electron pair will be 5. So what is the geometry? Geometry will be TBP, trigonal bipyramidal. Now what is trigonal bipyramidal geometry? Right, this is the trigonal bipyramidal geometry, but when we have 1 lone pair, so this lone pair will come at the equatorial position here. So here we have fluorine, fluorine, fluorine and fluorine. What is the shape? This shape is seesaw. Just like seesaw which we used to enjoy in our childhood. Seesaw, this like the slide. So seesaw. Now what is the correct answer? this. Now hybridization, when I have 5 electron pairs, I had to take 5 hybrid orbitals, so it cannot be sp3. 1 plus 3, 4 plus 1, 5, so it has to be sp3d. So what is the hybridization? Hybridization is sp3d. We can identify from the number of electron pairs. Electron pairs are 5, so hybrid orbitals will also be 5. So hybridization cannot be sp3 because there we have only 4. sp3d2, there we have 6. We need only 5. Also for 5 electron pairs, the geometry or shape cannot be tetrahedral. So what is the correct option? Correct option is option number 1. Right? Moving ahead to the next question. There is some number change. Don't ignore that. We are not concerned about the number. We are concerned about the questions only. Thermal decomposition which liberate NO2 gas X. Now remember, when we are heating the nitrates and we are comparing the properties of lithium to that of other elements of alkali metals, lithium is definitely showing the deviation. It is like you have heard ghar ka bhedi lanka dhai. Remember? So lithium wahi karta hai. Lithium shows different properties from the rest of the elements of the alkali metal, all group 1. Okay, so it shows different properties. So answer lithium hona chahiye. But let's see. Now when I am taking metal nitrate and I am heating thermal decomposition of metal nitrate, generally they will give me what? Metal nitrite plus oxygen gas. Right? Generally I am getting metal nitrite plus oxygen gas. But this is applicable when M is what? Sodium, potassium, rubidium or cesium. But in case of lithium nitrate, when I am heating lithium nitrate, what am I getting? I am getting lithium oxide plus NO2 plus O2. So here, in addition to O2 gas, I am also getting this NO2 gas, which is brown in color. So what is my answer? My answer is what? My answer is 1, that is lithium nitrate. Always remember, in all these cases, lithium is showing different properties from rest of the elements. Which of the following gas can be liquefied easily? We are given 4 gases A, B, C, D and the critical temperature is given. Now there is a relation. If the critical temperature is more, gas can be liquefied easily. Gas can be liquefied easily, right? So out of these you can see 4 gases which has the highest temperature, 573 Kelvin D. So it will be liquefied very easily because it has the higher value of critical temperature. Next, now we need to, this is a chemical, this is a classification under which category it comes. And we have some options here. So we know that what is a DDT? DDT is a very common pesticide. It is used to kill pests. So DDT, third will match with D, right? Third will match with D. So let me check in third D. So we can eliminate these 2 options because I am very sure about this, that DDT is a pesticide. Now let's talk about CO. CO is a pollutant. It is a pollutant, right? So for 4, it has to be A. So in both options there are A, so we can't eliminate the options. Next, when I come to NaClO3 or when I come to MiC, what is MiC? MiC, methyl isocyanide. What is that? It is a contaminant or not? Right? What is a, so MiC is a contaminant. So what is the answer? What is the answer? Answer has to be 1. This is a contaminant and NaClO3 is a herbicide. So my answer is option number A. 1. Next, we are talking about the color. So we know that alkali metals and alkaline earth metals are showing beautiful colors in flame test, right? So coming to the colors, magnesium is not showing any color. So magnesium will be D, right? So let's check the options. For one, D is an option number 2. So this can be our answer. But don't mark the answer in hurry. Just check for the remaining options. Magnesium is not showing any color in the flame test. Next, barium. Barium is showing green color. So barium is showing apple green color. Strontium R for red. So it is showing red color. Now, it is showing crimson red and calcium will show brick red. Now, what is the option? Option is D. Let's see. 1 for D, no color. 2 for A. So, barium is showing green color, very good green color we are able to see. Third, B. So, third B means crimson red, calcium, brick red. So, my answer is option number 2. Remember this, magnesium is not giving any test any color in the flame test. Next. So, let us talk about these compounds: thiophene, pyrrolidine, naphthalene and cyclopentane. Before this, I should, sometimes it happens in exams that we don't remember the structure. Then what is our approach? Our approach should be try to find the structure of the compound which is known to you. Write the structure and then match the option. So out of these, I can easily draw cyclopentane, right? So this will be cyclopentane. Now coming to the options. So cyclopentane is cyclopentane heterocyclic? No, we have only carbon and hydrogen atoms here. Now coming to aromatic, is it aromatic? No, it cannot be aromatic. So it is non-aromatic? No, non-aromatic also not there. It is alicyclic. It comes under the category of alicyclic. So 4 has to be A. So when I am coming to 4 as A, so I can eliminate 2 options, 3 and 4. So 3 and 4 cannot be our answers. Now coming to the next compound, naphthalene. Naphthalene is also very common, 2 benzene rings. This is naphthalene. Now let us see, naphthalene is matching which option? Homocyclic aromatic. Homocyclic means we have only carbon and hydrogen atoms in the ring. We don't have any other element. For example, sulfur, oxygen, nitrogen. So these are homocyclic. So in naphthalene, I don't have any hetero element, so it is homocyclic. So naphthalene is homocyclic, third matches with B. So third matches with B in both the cases, we cannot eliminate. What is thiophene? Thiophene is a sulfur. Thio stands for sulfur. So this is a thiophene compound. Now, thiophene is a sulfur containing compound, so it comes under the category of heterocyclic only. Now, we just need to identify will it be aromatic or non-aromatic. So, we have lone pairs also. This lone pair will participate in the resonance and they will participate in the resonance. So, here I can say that it has 6 pi electrons. Why? Because these electrons will also participate in resonance and also 4 electrons are there, 4 plus 2, 6. So 6 pi electrons will be there, it will be aromatic. Or coming to the pyrrolidine, what is pyrrolidine? Pyrrolidine contains an amine. Pyrrolidine contains an amine, NH group, right? So this will be pyrrolidine. So as I told you, thiophene will be what? Aromatic. So thiophene aromatic, which means one will match with D. 1 will match with B. So what is my answer? My answer has to be option number 2, right? Please check. Is it correct? No. So what is the answer? Answer is option number 2. Next. So in this paper, usually there are many questions on match the following or find the correct option, find the incorrect statement. So I would say the level of the question is moderate to difficult, because here we need to remember some more concept in a single question, right? So coming to this question, correct match is, so compound with a color. This is sodium nitroprusside. Sodium nitroprusside is having violet color. So one should match with E. So we can eliminate these 2 options. Sodium nitroprusside is actually showing violet color, one should match with E. Coming to this compound, this is blood red color. This is blood red color. So 4th should match with A. Next, next coming to this compound, this is showing Prussian blue color. This compound is showing Prussian blue color. So I think इससे हमारा आंसर आ जाना चाहिए. So 1 का E, 4 का A, 4A, 4A, 4A. So you know in both we have 4 as A. So we can't find the answer. Next Prussian blue, third is B. Third is B. Right, third is also B now. Ma'am, ये तो एकदम टक्कर हो गई. Now we need to see for, so we should know the compound, color of this compound. The color of this compound is canary yellow. So this was a tough question. You need to remember some more colors because generally क्या होता है, we know that sodium nitroprusside is violet in color, blood red FeSCN भी पता होता है, but बाकी जो होते हैं ना वो हम भूल जाते हैं, especially ये वाला जो molybdenum वाला compound है. ठीक है, तो उस वजह से यहाँ पर जो ऑप्शंस दिए थे वो हमें बहुत क्लोज वाले ऑप्शंस दिए थे. सो दिस वाज अ डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चन. ठीक है, सो व्हाट इज द करेक्ट आंसर? करेक्ट आंसर इज ऑप्शन नंबर 4. नेक्स्ट, equilibrium state is unaffected by the change in pressure. So generally what happens with the change in pressure, our reaction moves to the direction of less number of moles. When we are increasing pressure, it will move in the direction of less number of gaseous moles. So here when the equilibrium will remain unaffected by the change in pressure, when delta Ng is 0. So when the number of moles of gases are equal on both the sides of the reaction, then we can say that reaction will never shift. It can't go forward, it can't go backward. Clear? So let's check for this question. Delta Ng. Now delta Ng will be what here? Number of moles of product minus reactant, gaseous moles. 2 minus 1, that is 1. So this will not be our answer. Next, delta Ng here, 1 minus 2. So it will be minus 1, not our answer. Delta Ng, 2 minus 3. So it will be again minus 1, not our answer. So this has to be our answer. 2 minus 2. So it is 0. So my answer will be option number 4. In all these cases, when I'll change the pressure, either decrease or increase, my equilibrium will shift either forward or backward because the number of gaseous moles are not equal to 0. Next question. The enthalpies of combustion of graphite, graphite, hydrogen and acetic acid are dash, dash and dash respectively. Enthalpy of formation of acetic acid will be. So this is a bit time taking question. You need to do the calculation. So let's begin now. Enthalpies of combustion of graphite. Graphite is carbon in the form of graphite. So combustion means carbon will give me what? Carbon plus O2 gives me CO2. Right? Next, hydrogen. Hydrogen plus O2 will give me water. So it will be what? H2O. So half, when I'll balance this, I need here 1 only. So it will be half here. Next, acetic acid. On combustion, that is reaction with oxygen, will give me what? CO2 plus water. So I'll balance this first. Okay, so this is our reaction. This reaction is balanced. For this reaction, the enthalpy of combustion is minus 393. For this reaction, it is minus 286. Now for this reaction, this is minus 873. First, I need to balance this reaction. Carbon, here we have 2 carbons. So just write 2 here. What will happen? Carbon is balanced. Oxygen 2 plus 2, 4. Here 4 plus 1, 5. Not balanced. What about hydrogen? Hydrogen are यहाँ 4. So if I do this, then what will happen? 4 hydrogen, okay. Carbon is balanced. Oxygen 2 plus 2, 4. 4 plus 2, 6 here. Right? 6 oxygen. Oxygen is not balanced. So if I write 2 here, then now let's see. Let's check. 2 plus 4, 6. Here 6 oxygen. What about hydrogen? 4 hydrogen and carbon is already balanced. So this is our balanced reaction. Now coming to the question, we need to calculate the enthalpy of formation of acetic acid. So acetic acid is what? CH3COOH. It will be made up from enthalpy of formation, we take pure elements. So carbon plus oxygen plus hydrogen will give me acetic acid. How many carbons are there? 2. How many oxygen? 2 and 4. Sorry. Hydrogen standard form is 2H2. 2H2, right? So is it balanced? 2 carbon plus 2 oxygen plus 4 hydrogen, right? So this is balanced. For this I need to calculate the value of delta H. Now let us see what will happen now. So we need to rearrange these 3 equations to get this equation, right? So what can I do? I can see that I have 2 carbon here. Again, ma'am, oxygen is in this form. So it will be not be 2 here, na? ऑक्सीजन का स्टैंडर्ड फॉर्म क्या होता है? आपने बताया नहीं मुझे करेक्शन. मैम, ऑक्सीजन इज स्टेज इन O2 फॉर्म, नॉट O elemental form. So you can see that I need to multiply this by 2 because I can see 2 carbon here. So what will I do? I'll multiply this reaction by 2. So I'll change the color of the pen so that you'll be able to understand in a clear way. I'm just multiplying this by 2. So what will the reaction become? Now my new reaction will be 2C plus 2O2 give me 2CO2. Right? Next, what about the second reaction? Hydrogen also contains 2 here. So I'll multiply this also by 2. So what is my new reaction? When I'm doing the changes here, I need to do the change here also. So it will be 2 hydrogen plus oxygen gives me 2H2O. Right? These are my new reactions. Now what I need to do, I just need to get this reaction by the rearrangement of above reactions. Now you can also see that here it is present in the reactant, but here it is present in the product. So I just need to reverse the order. So what I'll do, I'll reverse the order of this reaction and I'll add these 2 reactions. On adding these 2 reactions, what will I get? 2CO2 plus 2H2O. Here, let's check. So what will I get? 2C plus 2O2. So it will be 3O2 now plus 2H2 will give me what? 2CO2 plus 2 water. Yeah? Now why am I doing this? Because I need to convert. I need this carbon, I need oxygen, I need hydrogen, and this will be cancelled. So again what will I do? I'll reverse this reaction. When I reverse this reaction, what it will be? It will be 2CO2 plus 2H2O gives me what? Acetic acid plus 2 oxygen. Then what will I do? I got 2 new reactions. Let it be equation number 1 and equation number 2. Now I'll add these 2 reactions. Now when I am changing this, what will be my new H? It will be 873. So when I am adding these 2, what will happen? CO2 and H2O will be cancelled, right? So you can see this will be cancelled. What will be the reaction? 2C plus 3 oxygen here, 2 oxygen here. So it will be O2 plus 2 hydrogen will give me acetic acid. So this is my desired reaction, right? This is my desired reaction. Now what will be the delta H? Delta H will be what? I multiplied this by 2. So minus 393 into 2 plus minus 286 into 2 plus what is this? 873. Right? So what this will be, you can calculate the answer and match with the options. I think it will be approximately 485. Right? So my answer is 64. Sorry, ma'am, क्या बोल रहे हो? नहीं, my answer for the question 64 is option number 2. Next, okay, this reaction also I took in the PYQ series. So we have acidic KMnO4. What happens? It is a strong oxidizing agent. So this bond will be broken, and we can add OO both the sides. So what will happen? This bond will be broken, and I'm actually adding double bond oxygen on both the sides. Right? Now what will happen? It will further oxidize my aldehyde, because aldehyde are easier to oxidize. Ketone will not oxidize, it will remain as such, but this will further react with KMnO4 to form CH3COOH. So what will be my answer? My answer will be acetone and acetic acid. Acetone and acetic acid. Option number 1. Ethyne is more acidic than propyne. Ethyne is more acidic than propyne. Ethyne is what? And propyne. Now let's see. We know that these alkynes are acidic because they have sp hybridized carbon. So this H can be removed easily. Now this is an electron donating group. This is an electron donating group. It will increase the electron density on this carbon, right? So this hydrogen cannot be removed easily now, because I can say, very easy example, after forming the after giving the H plus, what happens? It forms this anion. Right? Now we have this electron donating group, so it will donate the electrons, and it will enhance the negative charge on this anion. So my resulting anion will not be stabilized to that extent as in the case of this ion. So that is why we can say that ethyne will be more acidic than propyne, because as the carbon chain is increasing, my alkyl groups are increasing. So my electron donating groups are increasing, so they will destabilize the resulting anion by increasing the electron density. That is why ethyne is more acidic, so this is correct. Next, 1-butene is more acidic. Now in butene again I have more groups, more carbons. This is butene, I have this alkyl group. So what happened here? Again what will happen? Electron density will increase and the resulting anion will not be stabilized. So this is wrong. Propyne will be more acidic than butene. So what is the correct answer? First is correct, second is incorrect. So first is correct, second is incorrect. My answer will be option number 2. 2 for victory. ऐसे आप अगर आंसर सही करके आने वाले हो तो आपको क्या मिलने वाला है? V for victory, right? Okay, moving ahead to the next question. This is our compound alkene. I am reacting alkene with HCl in the presence of peroxide. So peroxide works only in the presence of HBr. In the presence of HCl, the reaction of HCl will not be altered in presence of peroxide. It will react according to Markovnikov rule. So according to Markovnikov rule, Cl will go to the carbon which has less number of hydrogen atoms. So Cl will go there, here. So what will happen? Cl will come here and H will come here. So this will be my A. Next, sodium dry ether, a very common reaction. Sodium in presence of dry ether. What will happen? Break this bond and join these two compounds. I have this. This is, this Cl here and CH. Now break this bond. And carbon numbers are getting doubled. So again, now we have 4. Yes, we have. So this will be my answer. So what is the answer? You can see answer will be option number 4th, right? We will be getting first 2-chloropropane, right? Why? Because peroxide does not cause any change in the case of HCl. The reaction will be in accordance with Markovnikov rule only, and then followed by Wood's reaction. Followed by Wood's reaction. So what will be my product? My product will be option number, this one, option number 4. The least reactive compounds toward SN2. Oh, very easy question. Yesterday's class, I told you the question on the stability of carbocation, that is 3 degree, 2 degree, 1 degree. Now what happens in SN2 reaction? In SN2 reaction, inversion takes place. The incoming nucleophile is coming from the back side. So in that case, if steric hindrance is more, then what will happen? The incoming nucleophile cannot come and attack the desired carbon center. So that is why if the steric hindrance is more, the rate of SN2 reaction is less. If the steric hindrance is more, the rate of SN2 is less. Right? The rate of SN2 is less. So what is the order for the reactivity order? Reactivity order is 1 degree, 2 degree followed by 3 degree. Which of the following will show will be least reactive? So you can see here, this is 3 degree, 2 degree, 1 degree, 1 degree. So which will be least reactive? This will be least reactive because here we have high steric hindrance. Next question. Which of the following are non-ideal solution except? So now they are asking for a solution which is ideal. HCl and water. Here we have hydrogen bonding, HCl. Again, positive or negative deviation will take place, so it will be non-ideal solution. Because here we have strong interactions, here we have dipole, so these are weak, these are not equal, so non-ideal. N-hexane and heptane, dispersion forces, here also dispersion forces, same type of forces. Now after they form the solution, then also the dispersion forces will be there because both are non-polar. So this is the ideal solution. Coming to next, ethyl alcohol and water, hydrogen bonding, hydrogen bonding. Again after mixing they will form even more strong hydrogen bonds, so they will be non-ideal. Similarly, methyl alcohol and cyclohexane non-ideal. Remember when we have one polar compound or two polar compound, they will definitely be forming non-ideal solution. One polar, one non-polar, non-ideal solution. Okay. If both are same, suppose both are having dipole-dipole interactions, then after solution also forming solution, they will also have dipole-dipole only. In that case, they will be ideal solution. For example, in the case of hexane and heptane, both have dispersion forces. So after forming the solution also, they will be having dispersion forces only. Right? So that is why the AABB and the AB interactions will be equal and they will form the ideal solution. So the answer is option number 2. Okay. So this is a direct question where you need to remember the pattern, parameter, right? See, for this please check NCERT and remember, right? There's a trend which you already know for writing the name, these parameters. In the last paper which I discussed, there was a question on this crystal system. So what is this here? Monoclinic, what happens in monoclinic? A is not equal to B, not equal to C, and alpha, these are 90, beta not equal to 90. So for this I am giving direct answer to, I think answer will be 2. Monoclinic it will be C. Second, for second it will be A. Orthorhombic it will be D, and trigonal will be B. Trigonal A is equal to B is equal to C. So what is the correct option? Correct option is option number 2. Next question. Which of the following is not a copolymer? Now what is a copolymer? A copolymer is formed by two different monomers. Simple, right? And homopolymer is what? It is formed by only one type of monomer. So first, what is this? Teflon. Teflon is formed by only one monomer, that is CF2. So this is a homopolymer, not copolymer. All others are copolymer. Buna S, right? It is made up of styrene, PET, it is also it is also co. It is formed by phenol and formaldehyde. So answer is option number 1. Which of the following is highest pKa value? Now you have to understand this. If Ka is more, then we can say acidic character or acidic strength is more, right? Now if pK is more, then for a strong acid, pKa has to be minimum. Remember this, Ka and pKa are always opposite. If the value of Ka is more, then the value of pKa is less. So for strong acids, what happens? For strong acid, the value of pKa is more and the, right? No ma'am. The value for strong acids, Ka is more and pKa is less. Now, they are asking about the highest pKa value. Means they are asking about the compound which will be least acidic. So, out of these, I need to identify the compound which is least acidic. Let's see here. We have here ortho, para, meta isomers of nitro group on phenol. Also here we have this electron donating group. So my answer is very direct. When we have a electron donating group on any of the benzene ring, then what will happen? It will decrease the acidic character or acidic strength. Why? Because this will be phenoxide ion. After giving H plus, it will become phenoxide ion which has negative charge. If we have an electron donating group, what is this plus? It has plus I and plus M. So what it will do? It will give the electrons to the ring. Now the resulting phenoxide ion, which already has a negative charge, this will enhance the negative charge, and that is why it will decrease the acidic character or acidic strength. So what is my answer? My answer will be option number 3rd. Now coming to all these compounds, these are acidic in nature. Why? Because of the presence of electron withdrawing NO2 group. And what is the order of acidic character? POM. POM. Why POM? Because NO2 is actually affecting only at the para and ortho position. Meta position pe electron, there is no change in, there is no variation in electron density on meta position. So it will be least acidic and para will be most, followed by ortho. What is the correct option? Here the answer is option number 3rd. Now if they would have asked which of the following is the least pK value, then answer would be option number A. Okay. At 298 Kelvin, 68.4 gram of sucrose is dissolved in 90 grams of water. Relative lowering of vapor pressure of the solution will be. So what is the formula of relative lowering? P0 minus P by P0 is equal to mole fraction of solute. Sucrose here is dissolved in water. So I'll just write this. This I need to calculate, right? So it will be what? N2 upon N1 plus N2. Okay, so I'll write the values here. 68.4 divided by sucrose. What is the molecular weight of sucrose? C12, H22, O11. So it is 342. 342 divided by 68.4 upon 342 plus 90 by 18, right? Is this we are talking about? Number of moles of solute divided by total number of moles. So I am just calculating the number of moles, and I am very sure you all know how to calculate the number of moles. Given weight upon molecular weight. So I'll just solve this now. So I'll just write this like this way, है ना? और what can I do? मैम ये तो रहने दो, आप मत करो ये. I can see that when I double this 342 into 2, I'll get 684, right? So I'll solve this and the answer will be one of these. So what will I do? How can I solve this? Are you guys with me? Are you able to solve this? Please suggest. So this will be what? Again, I'll remove this sign, so it will be 684 by 3420, right? So it will be what? When I'll multiply it by 5, so 20, 42, it will be what? 6 5s are 30, 3 4 2 0. It will be 1 by 5, right? So I'll just write this. Let's erase this. You already know, I already know you might have got the answer till now. So it will be 1 by 5 upon 1 by 5 plus 5, right? So I'll just solve this. I'll take the LCM. 1 by 5 divided by, this will be 1 by 25. Oh sorry, 1 plus 25 by 5. So it will be cancelled, and what will be the answer? It will be 1 by 20. So what is my answer? My answer will be option number 3rd. Clear? Very easy question. You would be asking, ma'am, why we haven't used the concept of dilute solution. There in dilute solutions we have very less amount of solute, but here we have considerable amount of solute. So we just can't eliminate the number of moles of sucrose from the denominator. We can't do that. What is the answer? Answer is option number 3rd. Rate constant for a first order reaction is, so this is what K. K is 6.93 into 10 raised to power minus 4 minute inverse. Time taken for the completion of 99.9% of the reaction is, so if you remember, there is a formula, T99.9 is equal to 10 times of T half or T50, right? So from here we can directly calculate the value of T half. So I'll just write, so what will be T half? 0.693 by K divided by K. What is this K? 6.93 into 10 raised to power minus 4. So if I cancel this 1, 10, 10 and 10 will be cancelled. So it will be 10 raised to power 4. 10 raised to power 4 means this answer will be option number B. Clear? Very easy question. Now for the reaction A to B, delta H is given to you, and the activation for energy for the reaction B to A is 36. What is the activation energy for A to B? So for this we need to understand something. This is B and this is A. Now what is the activation energy for the conversion of A to B? This will be the activation energy, for the conversion of A to B. So this will be activation energy. Now what is delta H? Delta H is the difference between A and B. The energies of this will give me delta H. Now they are also telling us that for the activation energy for the reverse reaction, if I carry out the reverse reaction, what is the activation energy from this point to reach this pahad? This is the activation energy, है ना? यहाँ से इस पहाड़ तक पहुँचने के लिए जितनी भी energy चाहिए होती है, that is activation energy. So for A to B, I need to cover this much amount of distance to reach this pahad. So activation energy will be this EA. Now coming to here, here this is delta H. Now if I need to convert B to A, I need to reach this pahad. So what will be my activation energy? This will be my activation energy. So the delta H data is given to me, that is 135, and this activation energy is also given to me as 36 kilojoule. So from the reaction, from the diagram you can see that when I am adding these values, I will be getting the activation energy of this entire pahad, or for the reaction of A to B, for the conversion of A to B. So it will be what? It will be 135 plus 36. So it will be 171 kilojoule per mole. So option is there? Yes ma'am, option is there. Option is again victory. Understood? I hope you all are able to understand what is happening. क्या किया मैंने? What is activation energy? What is delta H? I am sure you all are familiar with all these terms. IUPAC name of the product obtained by the reaction of ethanol with HCN in alkaline medium. So what is ethanol? Ethanol is when I am reacting it with HCN in alkaline medium, what happens? Cyanohydrin formation takes place. This is nucleophilic addition reaction, and this is the product which we are getting, cyanohydrin. Now what will be the answer, what will be the IUPAC name for this compound? So 1, 2, 3. So it will be 2-hydroxy, and number of carbon in the chain, propane, and if we have the CN group, what are we using? Nitrile. So it will be propane nitrile. So what will be the answer? Propane nitrile. So my answer will be 1 cyano, no, answer will be 2-hydroxy propane nitrile. Again, second option is the correct answer. Okay, so moving ahead to the next question. So we completed 25 questions so far, remaining 50% journey still left. So are you there with me? Yes, because you need to solve all these questions in the NEET exam. So you have to be slightly more attentive. So keep the Josh high, and let's start with the next journey, that is from the 76. CH3CHO on reaction with dilute NaOH gives me A, which on heating gives me B. Now they are not asking me the products, that what are A and B, they are asking some of the properties of these products. Now this is what, again, aldol condensation. Aldol condensation. So I'll do the product, I'll form the product directly, because I know you all know how to form the products of aldol. So let's try again. So it will abstract this alpha hydrogen and it will give me CH2 minus CHO. Now this will attack another molecule of ethanol and I'll be getting my product. So I'll just attack this here, and in the next step I'll be getting OH also. So what will be the product here? OH, this CH3, H, and this CH2, CHO. So this is my product A. This is A. Now on heating what happens? On heating I'll be getting B. So OH यहाँ से जाएगा, H यहाँ से जाएगा. This is alpha position, this is beta position. So this is what beta hydroxy aldehyde I am getting here. Now on heating what will happen? From the here this position OH will go, from this position H will go, and I will be getting the desired product. So H is there, CH, CHO. This is what alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl compound. So this is what B. So I am sure you all are familiar with A and B. Now let us see, let us read these points. A has a chiral center. What is this A? A has a chiral center? Yes ma'am. Here we have a chiral center also. We can see this is the chiral center here. So this is correct. B shows geometrical isomerism. For geometrical isomerism we need double bond. So this is B. Yes, they will show we have two hydrogen here. So they can be arranged cis. They can be arranged in trans form. So this is also correct. Alpha A is a alpha hydroxy carbonyl compound. So is A a alpha hydroxy carbonyl compound? No. In A we have this alpha carbon, and on beta carbon we have hydroxy. So it is a beta hydroxy compound, not alpha hydroxy compound. So what is the correct option? My answer has to be this, because I need to identify the incorrect statement. Now let us also check. B is a alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl compound. Yes, correct. Alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl compound. So what is my answer? Answer is option number 3rd. Yeah, got it? Moving to the next question. 1 coulomb of charge is passed through the following electrolytes using inert electrodes. Okay. Weight deposited or liberated at cathode is minimum in case of. So what is the formula for weight? Weight is equal to ZIT. है ना? This weight gives me the actual amount of metal which is getting deposited on any electrode. So cathode, I am talking about cathode. So at cathode I'll be, cation will be moving and I am getting different products. Now when I am talking about the electrolysis of these compounds, what are the products which I am getting at cathode? Cathode पे cation जाता है, ये तो confirm है. So in case of first KCl, so there will be competition between H plus and K plus. H plus will win and we will be getting hydrogen gas. Next, aqueous AgNO3. So in case of AgNO3, what will happen? Silver and H plus. Who will win? Silver will win and we will be getting silver. Molten NaCl, Na, and copper. In case of copper, again we will be getting copper. So you can see that Z, it depends on Z, it's directly proportional to Z, which is equal to E by 9650, or I can say the equivalent weight of the compound which is getting deposited. Now out of these, which of the following is the least weight? Hydrogen. So if hydrogen is the least weight, the weight will also be weight of this compound liberated at cathode will also be minimum. Why? Because we have seen that it is directly proportional to E. If equivalent weight is more, W will be more. If equivalent weight is less, W will be less. So in case of hydrogen, we know that it will have the least equivalent weight. So what is the answer? Answer will be option number 1. Answer will be option number 1. Clear? Next question. Okay, 100 ml of 0.1 CuCl3, this is a complex which requires VmL of 0.1 AgNO3 solution to precipitate all the chloride ion. Then what is the value of B? So in that case, what will I do? I will use the formula M1V1 is equal to M2V2. So what is happening here? CuCl3 4NH3, it requires VmL of 0.1 molar AgNO3. So this is our complex. What is the value of B here? So we need to identify what is M1. So it will be 0.1 into 100 ml, which will be equal to M2 is again 0.1. So what will be V2? So V2 will also be 100 ml. So what is my correct answer? Correct answer is option number 3rd. Just a second. Huh? Okay, next question 79. Consider the following complexes. The decreasing order of wavelength of the light absorbed will be. You can see these complexes. Now, we need to identify the order of their wavelength of light, right? So, we know that the strength of, field strength or strength of ligand is inversely proportional to the wavelength. Why? Because in case of strong ligands, we can say that the value of CFSE is more. CFSE is what? Energy. So energy is directly proportional to the strength of the ligand. If we have a strong ligand, energy will be more. If we have a weak ligand, energy will be less. So energy is inversely proportional to wavelength. So I can say that my strength of ligand will be inversely proportional to the wavelength. Now what is the strength of these ligands? The strength of these ligands is NO2 minus followed by ammonia and followed by F, right? F minus. So this is the order of the strength of these ligands. This is a strong ligand, so it will have the least wavelength. So third option will have the least wavelength. So you can see what is the decreasing order we need to identify, which has the highest wavelength. So fluorine will have the highest wavelength. So second will have the highest wavelength, then first and then third. So what is my answer? My answer is option number 1. Answer is option number 1. Next question. We have this complex. These are two isomers. So this complex here and this complex here. What is happening here? CN is coming here, ammonia is going there. So what is this pair of isomers? This is a coordination isomer. This is a coordination isomer. So what is my answer? Option number 1. Next question. The isomerism exhibited by the complexes. So we have this complex COEN2Cl2Cl. So will it show geometrical isomers or optical isomers? Let's check. Let's draw the compound CO. Now, so I am drawing this complex ion, right? COEN2Cl2. So if I am drawing it like this way, yeah, also I can also draw in this way. En, this will also be En, and this will be Cl2, right? So we can see here, this is a trans isomer and this will be cis isomer, right? So it is showing what? It is forming geometrical isomers. Why? Because these ligands can be arranged in cis form and in trans form. So what are the isomers here? Geometrical isomers is definitely present here. Now let us talk about the optical isomer. This trans has symmetry, so it will not form optical isomer. But when I take the mirror image of this cis isomer, what is the structure I am getting? Right? So these are what? These mirror images. These are enantiomers. These are non-superimposable mirror images. So they will show geometrical isomers. Trans isomers are generally optically inactive. But when I am talking about cis isomer, it is optically active. So what is the correct answer? Correct answer is both A and B. This complex will show both the type of isomers, geometrical as well as optical. Next question. Ammonium nitrate on thermal decomposition liberates ammonia. You need to identify the correct statement. Okay. When I am heating ammonium nitrate, on heating ammonium nitrate, I am not getting ammonia. I am actually getting what? I am getting N2O plus water. So this is our wrong statement. Ammonia is dried using quicklime. Ammonia ammonia is dried using quicklime. This is a correct statement. Okay. PuCl3 is a intermediate formed during the hydrolysis of PCl5. Correct. When we are doing the hydrolysis of PCl5, first we are getting PuCl3 plus HCl. Then again PuCl3 will react with water to form H3PO4 plus HCl. So this is the hydrolysis product. And what is PuCl3? PuCl3 is the intermediate. This is also correct. NF3 is highly unstable. No, this is wrong. NF3 is a stable compound. There is no instability factor in NF3. So what is the correct answer? B and C are the correct options. So what is the correct option? Correct option will be B and C only. Clear? Everybody remember this? Understood? Yes, perfect. So next question, 83. Regarding denaturation of protein, choose the false statement. Please keep this thing in mind, read the question carefully. Sometimes they are asking correct statement, sometimes incorrect, sometimes not. So don't miss these words like not, false or incorrect. So read that first statement very, very carefully. Yeah. Regarding, so which of the following is the false statement we need to identify? Denaturation of protein occurs on heating. This is correct. When we are heating a protein, denaturation takes place. Denaturation of protein occurs on changing the pH. Yes, this can also take place. Correct. Denaturation leads to the breaking of hydrogen bond in protein. This is also a very correct option. You know, when we have hydrogen bonds between, for example, in the DNA. So in DNA, what happens on denaturation of proteins, on heating, what happens? These hydrogen bonds are broken down and DNA is converted from double strand to single strand. Yeah. So this actually happens on denaturation. Denaturation is always reversible? No. Denaturation can be both. It can be reversible also, it can be irreversible also. So formation of milk from curd, no, reverse. Formation of curd from milk is irreversible denaturation. We can't get back the pure milk. But when I'm taking the example of denaturation of DNA, so what happens on heating? The double stranded DNA is converting to single strand DNA. Why? Because the hydrogen bonds between AT and GC are broken down. Now what happens on cooling down? Again the single strand DNA will convert to double strand DNA, and this process is known as renaturation. Okay, so we can say that this is not always reversible. It can be reversible, it can be irreversible also. So that is why it is a false statement. Understood? Next, colloids can be identified into many types. Starch, sol, this is sol, starch, sol is classified. It is a macromolecular colloid. So this is a question on which topic? This is a question on surface chemistry, macromolecular colloid. Interhalogen compounds are highly reactive. Hydrolysis products of ClF3 are. Remember, on hydrolysis, oxidation state will not change. So first I'll find the oxidation state of chlorine here. So X minus 3 is equal to 0. So X will be plus 3. Right? So X will be plus 3 here. So in the products we need to see the compounds of chlorine which have plus 3 oxidation state. So first here 1, it will be plus 5 here, you can calculate. Similarly plus 5 here. HClO4 plus 7. In HClO2 you can see X1 minus 4 will be equal to 0. So X will be 3. So this is one of the very important method to remember the products of hydrolysis of a particular compound, that during hydrolysis the oxidation state of the central element will remain same. For example, in the last question I was doing the hydrolysis of PCl5 where we have the oxidation state plus 5. So in the final product H3PO4 also the oxidation state will be plus 5. Please don't forget this rule, ब्रह्म वाक्य है ये, ऑक्सीडेशन स्टेट चेंज नहीं होती हाइड्रोलिसिस पे, ठीक है. अदरवाइज वी कांट रिमेंबर द ऑक्सीडेशन द प्रोडक्ट्स ऑफ एवरी हाइड्रोलिसिस रिएक्शन. Radius of first orbit of hydrogen atom is x angstrom. Wavelength of the electron revolving in second orbit of the hydrogen atom is this. So we know that 2 pi r is equal to n lambda. Right? So I need to calculate the wavelength in second orbit. First orbit radius is given to me. Now what is the formula for radius? It is 0.53 into n square by z. Right? So when I am talking about r, this is Rn, R1 it will be 0.53. For hydrogen atom both will be 1 because n is 1 and z is always 1. So this is the value of R1 which is equal to x here. Next, so when I am talking about R2, so what will be the R2? R2 will be 0.53 into n square means 2 square by 1. So it will be what? This value 0.53 angstrom x hai, so this will be 4x. Right? So I'll write this here 2 into pi into r. What is r? 4x, which is equal to n lambda. What is this n here? 2 lambda. 2 and 2 will be cancelled. What will be the answer? Lambda will be 4 pi x angstrom. So what is the answer? Answer is 4 pi x angstrom. So option third is the correct answer. Yes? Clear? Clear to everyone? Very easy question. Atomic weight of tellurium is less than iodine. So we need to identify the correct statement from the following. Atomic weight of tellurium is less than iodine. No, atomic weight for tellurium is 128 and iodine is 127. So what is the correct option? This is not the correct option. This is incorrect. So A is incorrect now. So now check the options. A जिसमें भी होगा, it will not be our answer. So answer is this one, direct answer आ गया. But let's check the other options. Melting point of Eka aluminium is low. This is correct. Eka aluminium is what? Bangan, aloo, gajar. Bangan, aloo, gajar. This is what? Eka aluminium. So it has low melting point. Correct. Sodium, potassium and lithium are forming a doburynyl triad. This is also correct. 7, 23, 39. So, we are getting this atomic weight as the average of the atomic weight of other two elements. So, yes, it forms a doburynyl triad. So, B and C are the correct options. Eka silicon forms the oxide of formula AeO2 because it comes below silicon. Correct statement regarding hybridization. Okay. Orbitals of different atoms mix with each other to form the hybrid orbitals. Is this correct? No. Hybridization किसका होता है? The atomic orbitals of the central atom. एक ही atom होगा ना, different atoms नहीं होता कि suppose I am talking about BCl3, so one orbit is from chlorine, one is from boron. No. This is not like that. So this is not correct. Vacant orbitals cannot involve in hybridization. No. This is also not correct. Vacant orbital हो, filled orbital हो, they can participate in hybridization. Vacant तो और ज़्यादा अच्छे से करता है, right? So this is incorrect. Each hybrid orbital can accumulate a maximum of 2 electrons with opposite spin. This is correct. Each orbital can, be it hybrid orbital or be it normal orbital, we can have only 2 electrons, right? It cannot accumulate more than 2 electrons. So this is correct. Hybrid orbital cannot form sigma bonds. This is another incorrect option. Why? Because hybrid orbital ही तो हैं जो sigma bond बनाते हैं, right? So hybrid orbital cannot form pi bond. They can form sigma bond. So this is another wrong statement. We need to identify the correct statement. So correct statement is only C. So what is my answer? My answer is option number 2. Okay, 80s, yeah. Next, boiling point of H2S as compared to pH3 is best explained by. So you know that H2S has more boiling point than pH3. Why? Because of strong dipole-dipole attractions. So this has to be the answer. Why? Let's check. H2S and pH3. What is the criteria by which we are comparing the boiling point? First, the intermolecular forces. If we have strong intermolecular forces, then boiling point will be more. Now, if for a particular compound, if we have same type of intermolecular forces, then we'll compare their molecular weight. So let's check the molecular weight. This will be 34 and it will also be 34. Now here I have same molecular weight, so they should have same type of boiling point, same value, but this is not the case. Why? Because the electronegativity of sulfur is more than the electronegativity of phosphorus. So even though they have same type of dipole-dipole attraction, same type of forces, but due to more electronegativity of sulfur, the forces, the dipole-dipole interaction in H2S will be stronger than that of pH3. So that is why my answer is strong dipole-dipole attraction. We can't say molar mass because molecular mass is same. Stronger SH bond enthalpy, no. Larger size, no relation with the size. 16 grams of X taken in this mole, okay. So let's see, 16 gram of gas X, we are talking about a gas X whose weight is given to us as 16 gram. Is taken in a container whose volume is 16.42 liters at temperature is 400 Kelvin, exert a pressure of 2 atm. Molar mass of X is. So very easy question, we need to calculate the molecular weight of X. So which formula can we use? Gas is given. So very simple formula, ideal gas equation, which you should remember even while sleeping. PV is equal to nRT. Or I can write PV is equal to W by MW into RT. What I need to calculate? MW. So my formula will be MW WRT by PV. I'll substitute the values. 16 gram. All values are in proper unit. 16 into 0.0821 into what? T is 400 Kelvin. What is P here? 2 atm. What is V here? V will be 16.42 liters. You can solve to get the final answer. Final answer will be, I think it will be approximate 16. You can calculate what is the answer. Answer will be approximately this. Next, IUPAC name of the following compound is. So first I'll find the longest chain. Select the longest chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here I have 5. No, this is the longest chain. Now I can see that in the longest chain, what is the number of carbon? So 8, right? So all are having octane. So this we can't decide. We can't eliminate the option on the basis of longest chain. Now we have to give the numbering. We can start numbering from this side or this side. So I'll do both. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So what are the substituents at what position? 4 and 5. 4 methyl and 5 ethyl. Now if I start numbering from here, what will happen? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So here from this numbering I can say 4 for ethyl and 5 for methyl. Both the cases we are getting same number, right? If the number is different, then we use the method of lowest locant rule. But here we can't apply that because from both the sides we are getting same number. So what we'll do in that case, we are giving more priority to the to the substituent which comes before in the alphabetical order. So which comes before in the alphabetical order? E. So we'll choose this. So what will be the my answer? 4 ethyl, 5 methyl octane. That is option number 3rd. So अगर ऐसा कभी होता है कि अगर दोनों तरफ से सेम नंबरिंग भी मिल रही है, तो जिसको हमने अल्फाबेटिकल ऑर्डर में पहले प्रायोरिटी दे रखा है उसको हमने छोटा नंबर देना है. सो व्हाट इज माय आंसर? 4 ethyl 5 methyl octane. For the reversible reaction, the equilibrium pressure would be, so we are given this reaction, NH2CO NH4 solid will give me CO2 gas. So initial pressure will be 0, right? Pi 0 and 0. Pi will be 0. What say? Why? Because this is a solid. So what I take generally Pi minus x. This is 2x and this will be also x. What we are given? We are given the value of Kp. Now what can I do from here? I know that Pi is 0. Because initially we have the solid here. So what can I do? I can find the mole fraction from here, or I know that what is the value of this Kp? Kp is, so after the reaction this is of no use now, because this will not be there, this will not be there. So we have only pressure due to these gases, 2x and x. Now from here can I find the value of x? So Kp is equal to what? Pressure of into, what is this? Pressure of 4 is equal to x square 2x का whole square into x. So this will be what? Again, are they talking about any volume? No. So it will be 4 is equal to 4x cube. So x cube will be 1, so x will be 1. So from here I can see what is x, this is 1 and this is 2. So what will be the total pressure? Total pressure will be x plus 2x, 2x plus x, this will be 3x, and what is the value of x? That is 1, so answer will be 3 atm. I hope this is clear to everyone. Easy question, ठीक है? Option is third. Number of chlorine atoms attached to the sp3 hybridized carbon in the molecule of DDT. So इसके लिए मैडम DDT पता होना चाहिए. So what is DDT? CH. Here we have a carbon with 3 chlorine, and here we have 2 chlorobenzene groups. So this is the formula, this is the structure of DDT. Now we need to identify the number of chlorine atoms attached to sp3 hybridized carbon. So sp3 hybridized carbon, this is sp2, this is also sp2, this is sp3. So what has to be my answer? To this carbon, how many chlorine atoms are attached? 3. So my answer is option number 2. What is the answer? My answer is option number 2. That is 3. Next, 95. Relative lowering of vapor pressure of an aqueous solution containing a non-volatile solute is 0.25. So we are given the value of P0 minus P by P0 is equal to 0.25, which is equal to the, right? We need to calculate the molality. Now for molality, what do we need? I need the number of moles of solute divided by weight of solvent into 1000. So from here I can interpret what? That mole fraction is this 0.25. है ना? So this is what I can write it as this, है ना? So I can write from here, I can interpret that N2 will be 0.25 and N1 will be 0.75. So these are the number of moles of N2 and N1. Now I need to calculate this, I need to calculate molality, I need N2, N2 I got directly. This is W1, right? Weight of solvent. From here I can calculate W1. W1 will be equal to N1 into molecular weight of 1. Aqueous solution is given, so this is water, so it will be 0.75 into 18 grams. This will be in grams. After substituting here, what will I get? Molality is equal to 0.25 divided by 0.75 into 18 into 1000. This will give me my final answer 1, 3. It will be approximately 1000 by 3 into 18. So 1000 by 18 is what? We learned this value, no? 1000 by 18 is 55.5. 55.5 divided by 3. So approximately what will be the answer? 55 or let's say 50. 50 divided by 3. What? So I think what will be my answer? My answer will be approximate 21. No. 18. No. It will be approximate 13 point. No, approximately 14. 14 3s are 52 होता है तो आसपास आएगा. So my answer will be 13.88. Clear? Next question. Compound A is what? Okay. So we have a halide here, a compound, a cyclic compound containing chlorine. You can see that here a chlorine is 2 degree. And what about this? this is a strong base. So whenever we have a 2 degree alkene, 2 degree alkyl halide and a strong base, then in case of, instead of substitution, elimination takes place. In case of strong base है and already we have a 2 degree carbocation, so what will happen? The reaction will proceed via elimination, not substitution. So we cannot get this product, right? Elimination will take place. So सबसे पहले Cl जाएगा, we'll be getting carbocation here. So what will be our first step here? Now there are two possibilities. H can go from here, H can go from here. Which alkene will be more stable? The alkene which is more substituted, it is more stable. So if अगर यहाँ से जाता है, so this is the product, यहाँ से जाता है तो this is the product. Now can you tell me which will be my most stable product, stable alkene, this or this? This will be more stable because I have, this is more substituted. So according to the Z-sub rule, what will be my product? This will be my major product, elimination product. So what is the correct option? Option number 4. The crystal system which has only primitive unit cells and the crystal system which has 4 types of unit cells. So 4 types of unit cells are present in orthorhombic. So orthorhombic has to be the second option. Now let us talk about the first option. Simple primitive unit cell is present in triclinic, trigonal, yes, and hexagonal. So इसमें ऑप्शन क्या है मेरे पास? हेक्सागोनल, क्यूबिक में नहीं होता है. So my answer will be option number 3rd. Right? Next, 16.6 gram of methyl magnesium iodide reacts with 5 gram of ethyl alcohol to liberate dash liters of gas at SGP. Okay, so methyl magnesium bromide, that is CH3 iodide, reacts with ethyl alcohol C2H5OH. What is the reaction? So when our Grignard reagent reacts with a proton donor or acidic compound, then what will happen? It takes this H and ये भी बाहर निकल लेगा. क्या मिलेगा मुझे? CH4 गैस प्लस साथ में जो भी मिलेगा, ठीक है, ये मिलेगा साथ में I और साथ में मिलेगा OC2H5, ऐसा कुछ मिलेगा, ठीक है. So this is the gas which we are getting. Now we need to identify when we are taking 16.6 gram of this and 5 gram of this, what will be my product? How much amount of gas will I be getting? So what is the reaction? 1 mole, this is giving me reacting with 1 mole of this and I am getting 1 mole of methane. Let me calculate the molecular weight of CH3MgI. So 127 plus 24 plus 15. So what it will be? 11 plus 5 16, 166. So I can say that 166 gram will react with. Now what is the C2H5OH? So 24 plus 6 30 plus 16. So it will be 46. So it will react with 46 gram to form 1 mole. 1 mole means 16 gram, right? Now they are asking me in liters. At STP, 1 mole is giving me what? 22.4 liters. Now when I have 166 gram, it is giving me 24 liter of methane, 22.4 liter of methane. Now अगर मेरे पास 16.6 होगा, then what will be my answer? 16.6 and 5 gram. So 16.6 will react with 4.6 gram and I'll be left with excess of some ethanol. So this is my limiting reagent. So 166 is reacting to give me 22.4 liter. Then 16.6 से कितना मिलेगा? 2.24 liter. So what is my answer? Answer will be option number 1. Answer will be option number 1. Right? Next. The compound A in the reaction. So what are these reagents? Hydroboration oxidation reaction. Hydroboration oxidation reaction में there is anti-Markovnikov addition of water. Anti-Markovnikov addition of water and no rearrangement takes place. Remember these 3 important points, that in anti-Markovnikov, in the hydroboration reaction we are adding water in accordance with the anti-Markovnikov rule, and there is no rearrangement taking place because the reaction is not taking place by a carbocation mechanism. So here HOH, so here H will come, OH will come. So what will be my product? So my product will be, no, this will not be the product, this will not be the product, my product will be A, 91A, right? Next, this is the last question. Equanil is used for controlling hypertension, depression. Yes, it is a tranquilizer. Equanil is a tranquilizer. Veronal is a barbiturate. This is also correct. So both these statements are correct. So my option is, correct answer is option number 1. Okay. So last में जाते जाते pen भी गिर गया. So that's all from my side. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Kiran Chaudhary and I am your botany faculty at Infinity Learn. Today we will be discussing, my dear students, your AITS Test 2 all 50 botany questions. This paper you appeared on 10th of July. So let's see, my dear students, what are those 50 questions and what are their solutions, correct answers. So let's get started. Here comes the very first question. An increase in size and number of cells is best described by. So increase in size and increase in number of cells is best described as growth. Pretty simple. Next question. 5. What simple can you expect from biological classification than this question? The 5 kingdom classification system was proposed by R.H. Whitaker. And what were the 5 kingdoms? Kingdom Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae, Animalia. Nostoc is another, again the question is from biological classification, kingdom Monera, Eubacteria. Nostoc is a filamentous cyanobacteria. It is a filamentous cyanobacteria. In fact, the image that is there in NCERT under Eubacteria is of Nostoc. So you can see that filament over there and you can recollect it. Next, and they help in nitrogen fixation also, remember that. Capsid. So what is capsid, my dear students? Capsid is the name given to the protein coat in viruses, and this capsid, this protein coat protects the genetic material of the virus, which can be DNA or RNA. So capsid is a protein coat of virus. Next question. So pretty amazing question this is. This will help you to put a pressure on your neurons and try to think about how reproduction takes place in the members of algae. It's an amazing question, very important, and let me tell you, my dear students, very frequently NTA is asking question on the reproduction of algae. So this is a must-do question before you appear for your NEET 2022 on 17th of July. So let us see this. Non-flagellated isogametes. Remember, isogamous mode of sexual reproduction, the members mentioned in your NCERT under algae is about Eulothrix and Spirogyra. But what you need to remember is, in Spirogyra, isogametes are non-flagellated. 4 times NTA has asked question on this fact. Yes, in the history of NEET exam from 2013 to 2021. Also remember, my dear students, in Eulothrix, the isogametes are flagellated. Anisogamy is seen in Eudorhina. Oogamy is seen in, my dear students, Fucus and Volvox. So let us try to solve this now. Non-flagellated isogametes, Spirogyra. Flagellated anisogamy. Remember, anisogamy in Eudorhina. Flagellated isogametes, Eulothrix. Stationary female gamete means non-motile,
and flagellated male gamete. So large non-motile female gamete, small motile male gamete. This is the condition of oogamous mode of oogamous type of sexual reproduction, and this oogamous type of sexual reproduction is seen in members of algae like fucus and volvox, and here the option fucus is given. So if I see here, A goes with 4, B goes with 2, C goes with 3 and D goes with 1. So your option 1 is correct. Next question. Select the correct statement. Let me read out the statements for you. Cycus is a gymnosperm, we all know that. Absolutely correct. Now very important, very interesting question. On the first only it is, you can get the answer, but let me read out the other statements also for you. Leaves of gymnosperms are not well adapted to extreme climate. This is wrong, they are. Gymnosperms are both homo and hetero. No, all gymnosperms are heterosporous. Salvinia, ginkgo and pinus all are gymnosperm. No, Salvinia is not. Salvinia is a pteridophyte. So that is why the rest 2, 3 and 4 are incorrect. Next question. Independent gametophyte and sporophyte is a characteristic of pteridophyte. So can you find out which out of the 4 is a pteridophyte? Pinus is a gymnosperm, Markensia is your liverwort bryophyte, Funaria is your moss bryophyte, remaining Selaginella is your pteridophyte. So independent gametophyte and sporophyte are seen in Selaginella, which is a pteridophyte. Pretty simple. Next question. Alternate phyllotaxy. Please remember, my dear students, alternate phyllotaxy like this. Alternate phyllotaxy, leaves are coming in alternate fashion, is not seen in. It is not seen in. It's not seen in guava, right? Because in guava the phyllotaxy is opposite. Phyllotaxy is opposite. In mustard, sunflower, China rose, it is alternate. Opposite means from one node like this, leaves will come out, and alternate means like this, one node only one leaf comes out. So in guava it is opposite, not alternate. Simple. Next question. Statement 1, P and Q. So let's find out. In cymose, inflorescence, flowers are born in basipetal manner. This is absolutely correct. This looks like somewhat like this. So what are you seeing? This is basipetal order. Yahi hota hai basipetal order. What do you mean by that? That means old one will come above and the young ones will be below. This is basipetal. This is a characteristic of cymose inflorescence. Young flowers are present below the old one in cymose. So P is also explaining that. So we can see that, my dear students, P and Q statement both are correct over here. So P and Q are wrong, nahi ji. P is correct and Q is incorrect. No. Statement P and Q, no. Both statements P and Q are correct. That's right. Fourth is right. So because both are correct, I have already explained you. Both P and Q statements are correct. Next question. A flower that can be cut into 2 equal halves in any radial plane. Such a flower is known as actinomorphic flower. Such a flower is known as actinomorphic flower. Zygomorphic means you can cut or divide it into 2 halves by using one plane only, is zygomorphic. Asymmetrical, you can't cut by any plane in 2 halves. Epigynous flower is not with respect to the symmetry. Epigynous is with respect to the position of the ovary and the other floral part. So it's not linked with the symmetry at all. Next question. Xylem is mineral conducting permanent tissue. To be more precise, xylem conducting permanent complex tissue, but that's okay. Xylem has only dead cells and not the living cell. This is wrong, my dear students, because xylem parenchyma is living. So this is wrong, but this is right. So statement A and B both are correct. No, statement A is correct and statement B is incorrect. This is right. Statement A is correct and statement B is incorrect. Next question. Choose the incorrect statement. So let's find out which of the following is incorrect over here. Annual rings are formed by secondary xylem. Correct. Secondary phloem is the innermost part of the bar, correct. Vascular cambium of root is entirely formed from pericycle. This is not right. They are actually talking about the dicot root, right? So because उसी में ही होता है ये. So in dicot root, my dear students, vascular cambium is completely secondary in origin. It originates its form during secondary growth, and it is formed via tissues which are present below the phloem bundle and a part of pericycle which is present above the protoxylem. So it is not entirely from pericycle, only a part of pericycle above protoxylem and the tissues present below the phloem bundle. Hence this option is incorrect. So vascular cambium of root is initially in the form of wavy ring and finally it becomes circular. That's right. So only this one is incorrect. Nucleus was discovered by, so this is a factual question, you need to remember this, my dear students. It was discovered by Robert Brown in the root cells of orchids. Next question, which component of cell membrane is responsible for imparting the quasi-fluid, means the semi-fluid nature to cell membrane? It is the lipid molecules. It is the lipid molecules, straight from NCERT. This is, read the following statement and identify the cell organelle concerned in it. So it has a network of tubular structure. Okay. It is a part of endomembrane system. So part of endomembrane system is endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex, and lysosomes and vacuole. Lysosome vacuoles ऑप्शन में नहीं आएगा tubular system की वजह से. और network की तरह, to be more precise, we can move towards the endoplasmic reticulum, but in the option there is rough also and there is smooth also. So let's see, it is involved in the formation of lipid like steroid. So involved in the formation of lipid, this is the exclusive function. As of now, I can say from these option is smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So this option decides the answer should be smooth endoplasmic reticulum because it is involved in the formation of lipid like steroid. Rough endoplasmic reticulum is more concerned towards protein formation. Next question, which cell organelle is measured in Svedberg unit? It is ribosome. Pure NCERT question this is. Palmitic acid. Palmitic acid is a fatty acid. This information is given in your chapter number 14, respiration plant, where RQ is concerned or discussed, right? It's a fatty acid. Choose the correct statement. Choose the correct statement. In primary structure, protein shows hydrogen bonds. No, no, no. In secondary structure, the protein appears as a woolen ball. No. In tertiary structure, the protein has disulfide and hydrogen bonds. That's right, my lovely kids. Correct ही पूछा है. In tertiary structure, the protein has first of all the basic peptide bonds, disulfide linkages, hydrogen bonds, ionic bonds, hydrophobic, hydrophilic interactions, right? So this is right. Hemoglobin is made up of only one polypeptide chain. That's wrong. Next question. Choose the correct sequence of steps in catalytic cycle of an enzyme action. तो देखते हैं ये कैसे होता है. Breakage of chemical bonds or making, नहीं ये तो बीच में होगा. Binding of substrate, yeah. Binding of a substrate to the active site of the enzyme should be the first one. ये पहला होना चाहिए. Then release product, this should be the last one. Fitting of a substrate more tightly to the enzyme at the active site, this should be the second one. And breaking of chemical bonds or making in the substrate in order to convert substrate into product, ये होना चाहिए आपका third. First is binding of substrate to the active site. Second is fitting it tightly, substrate को more tightly fit करना at the active sites of the enzyme. Third is then breaking of the chemical bonds of making in order to convert a substrate into the product. And fourth, release of the product from the active site. So the option should go as 2, 4, 1, 3. 2, 4, 1, 3. This one is correct. 2, 4, 1 and 3. Correct? Next one. Duplication of genes takes place in the following stage of cell cycle. Duplication of genes, DNA formation, DNA synthesis. This will take place in S phase or S stage. Next. In which stage of M phase Emphase. Spindle fibers are implanted in kinetochores of chromosomes. So chromosomes have the constriction centromere. Over there are disc shaped structures, kinetochores, and to these kinetochores the spindle fibers actually attaches, my dear students. So this implantation of spindle fiber to kinetochore is a characteristic of which stage? It's a characteristic of metastage. Next question. Arrange the following stages of prophase 1 in correct sequence. Nothing can be more simple than this, okay, from meiosis. Rest of everything can be complicated, but at least arranging the stages is simple, right? So the first one is leptotene, second is zygotene when the homologous chromosome starts pairing, then pakitine crossing over, pakitine, okay, and then diplotene, which is not there. Then the last one of the prophase 1 is diakinesis. So it should be A, C, B, D. A, C, B and D, right? A, C, B, D, correct? Next question. Quantity and type of solutes are adjusted by transport proteins. So remember, my dear students, in roots there is endodermis, and endodermis acts as a checkpoint, as control points where quantity, in how much quantity, which particular type of solute should enter the root xylem is decided, right? So quantity and type of solutes are adjusted by transport proteins of endodermis. Just in case if you are wondering this question, oh sorry for this one, just in case if you are wondering from where this question is made, it is made from transport in plants, chapter 11, class 11, where, my dear students, the discussion is about transport or mineral transport is mentioned. That means after your transpiration, right? So there is compromise, right? Photosynthesis, transpiration, compromise is that paragraph. After that the discussion is there in that paragraph, this line. In fact, in the last, this is one of the few last lines of that page, right? So just in case if you missed out it, I'm helping you to recollect from where this question is made. So it's endodermis of the root. Next question, kids. Endodermis of root. Choose the correct match. Xylem transport is bidirectional. No. Xylem transport is unidirectional from roots to the leaves. Phloem transport is unidirectional. It is bidirectional because relationship between source and sink changes. They are reversible. Xylem transport usually bidirectional, but sometimes unidirectional. Nothing like that. It's strictly, xylem transport is strictly unidirectional. Phloem transport is bidirectional because source and sink relationship are interconvertible, they are reversible. So phloem transport is bidirectional is absolutely correct. Which of the following is a wrong statement? Which of the following is a wrong statement? Root nodule forming nitrogen fixers live as aerobe under free living condition, right? Phosphorus is a constituent of chlorophyll. No. Phosphorus is not a constituent of chlorophyll, rather phosphorus is a constituent of nucleic acid, RNA, DNA made up of nucleotide having phosphates, right? So this is actually not a constituent of chlorophyll. I hope everybody is getting that. This one is wrong. Right, my lovely kids? Next, Nitrosomonas and Nitrobacter are chemoautotrophs, correct? Anabena and Nostoc are capable of fixing nitrogen in free living state also. So phosphorus is not a constituent of chlorophyll. In the question, in the statement, it is phosphorus is a constituent of chlorophyll. That is why it is wrong, because it is not. Very pretty. Nothing more simpler than this can be asked from photosynthesis. It is just the balanced reaction of photosynthesis. So it's a balanced one. So in photosynthesis, who are the reactants? CO2, water and light, right? And what will be produced? Oxygen, right? And the glucose along with the water molecules, because it is the balanced one. So 6 CO2 plus 12 H2O in presence of light energy will make one molecule of glucose. 6 H2O will be also released and 6 H2O will be released and 6 O2 will be produced. So 6 CO2, 1 glucose and 6 O2, right? So this is how correct equation, balanced equation of photosynthesis looks like. Directly from NCERT it is taken. During photosynthesis, the reaction ADP plus inorganic phosphate forming ATP takes place in the following structure of thylakoid. So, this chemiosmosis, my dear students, this formation of ATP is actually taking place in CF1 particle. So, remember there is CF particle, CF0 and CF1. CF0 act as the CF0, CF1 is associated, it is collectively present in the thylakoid membrane. CF0 is present inside the thylakoid membrane and CF1 is protruding, right my dear student, it is actually protruding towards the stroma side. So, if you notice my lovely kids, you will realize over here that CF0 acts as a transmembrane channel, it helps to break the proton gradient. So, when proton gradient breaks my lovely kids, the H plus ions, right my lovely kids, when these H plus ions are again coming out, the H plus ions are coming out from lumen and going back to the stroma, there is release, there is breaking of the proton gradient, there is release of energy and this energy is utilized to produce bonds, right. This energy is stored, is trapped in the bonds of ATP. So, the enzyme ATP synthase is present in this CF1 which catalyzes this reaction. So, this ADP plus inorganic phosphate ATP is actually taking place in the CF1, Next, the product of substrate level phosphorylation reaction of Krebs cycle. So, in Krebs cycle, the substrate level phosphorylation takes place when succinyl-CoA converts into succinic acid. There, a GTP molecule is produced which in a coupled reaction back converts into GDP and simultaneously there is a production of ATP. So, the product in this substrate level phosphorylation is succinic acid. From succinyl-CoA, succinic acid is getting produced. Next question, choose the incorrect match. Pretty simple this is my dear students. Indol derivatives, right, oxin, terpenes, cytokinins, no my dear students, gibberellic acids are actually terpenes, carotenoids, abscisic acid, correct. Adenine derivatives, gibberellic acid, no, adenine derivatives are actually cytokinins or kinetins, right. So, this actually got interchanged. So, your 2 and 4 are incorrect, 2 and 4 are incorrect. Identify the correct statement with respect to vernalization. This question is again picked from the direct line of NCERT, copy paste, right. So, it's for you to understand how much do you or how much you are able to recollect, and many a times my dear students, like if I talk about the stats of NEET 2021 paper, more than 95% of questions in NEET 2021 botany were directly straight from the NCERT line, and you did not even change the sequence of the words. So, that important NCERT lines are, and this question actually helps you to test yourself, to analyze, right, analyze how much you remember exactly the text of the NCERT. So, vernalization, which statement is correct with respect to vernalization? So, it prevents precocious reproductive development late in the growing phase. So, it prevents precocious reproductive development late in the growing phase. Please remember this. Next question. Select the correct sequence with respect to sexual reproduction. So, for sexual reproduction to take place, first of all, gamete should be produced, gametogenesis, then the gamete should fuse, fertilization, as a result zygote will form embryo. So, let us see this, gametogenesis to form gamete which will fuse to form zygote. So, fusion of gamete is syngamy, zygote as a result, zygote will develop into embryo which is via embryogenesis. So, gametogenesis, syngamy, zygote, embryogenesis. The main function of the innermost wall of the anther. So, anther is made up of 4 walls, right my dear students, epidermis, endothelium, middle layer, tapetum. Tapetum surrounds the sporogenous tissues. Earlier there are spore mother cells, sporogenous tissues differentiating to spore mother cells, and these microspore mother cells divides via meiosis to form microspores which develops into pollen grain. So, the tapetum is directly surrounding these sporogenous tissues, microspore mother cells, and later on these developing pollen grains. So, please remember the main function of this, the function of this tapetum, the innermost layer, is it is nutritive in nature. It provides nutrition to the developing pollen grain. But the remaining three, they although have their specific functions, but collectively they help in protection and dehiscence of the anther. Who? Epidermis, endothelium, middle layer. Okay. So providing nutrition to the developing pollen grain. The main function of the innermost wall layer of anther is providing the nutrition to the developing pollen grain. We are talking about tapetum. First one is correct. Next question, kids. 33. The contents of the pollen tube are discharged into the following cell of the embryo sac. So whenever a pollen tube which is carrying the two male gametes, most importantly, they are the most important structures, right? So when the pollen tube is carrying, the two male gametes enters into the embryo sac, it actually releases these two gametes, these contents of the pollen tube into one of the synergids. So synergid degenerates because of that. So, I have given the answer. The contents of pollen tube are discharged into the following cell of the embryo sac. It is the synergid. Next question, endosperm persistent. So there are seeds, my dear students, in which endosperm is not completely consumed by the developing embryo. It still remain persistent. It still remain left out in the seed. It persists in the mature seeds. Such seeds are known as endospermic seeds or albuminous seeds. An example is castor and coconut. Castor and coconut are endospermic seeds. Endosperm persist in their mature seeds. Pea, groundnut, bean, they are non-endospermic. They do not have endosperm in the mature seeds because the endosperm got completely consumed by the developing embryo. Next question, castor and coconut, endospermic seeds. Have persistent endosperm in their mature seeds. Apomixis. Apomixis means, my dear students, formation of seeds without fertilization of male and female gamete. So such phenomenon is naturally found in some members of Asteraceae and grasses. So in this, grasses is already given. Select the correct match. Unit factors exist in pair. Unit factors do exist in pair but not in gametes. Gametes are haploid. So this is wrong. Dominant trait expressed only in homozygous condition. No. Dominant trait expressed both in homozygous as well as heterozygous. Recessive trait expressed only in homozygous condition. This is wrong. Locus is the specific fixed position on a chromosome where a particular gene is located. Correct. So this is correct. Genotype is the physical expression of the trait. No. Phenotype is the physical expression of the trait. Genotype is not. Genotype is the genetic constitution of a cell, right? So phenotype is the physical expression of the trait. Wrong. Rather, I should say phenotype is the physical expression of a character. That's better because phenotype and trait connected. They are somewhat the same thing. Okay. So chromosomal theory of inheritance was given by Sutton and Boveri. Nothing can be more simpler than this from Mendelian genetics. Rather, I should not say Mendelian genetic because I should say principles of inheritance and variation. That's the whole chapter. Mendelian genetics actually finishes when we talk about the dihybrid cross, right? Then we talk about rest other things. Linkage, chromosomal theory, etc., etc. So chromosomal theory of inheritance was given by Sutton and Boveri. Next question. Statement A and statement B. This is a very good question. Let me see if you can understand. If you got this one correct, very good. But if you did not, please pay attention now. Statement A. Genes for body color and eye color in Drosophila, body color and eye color in Drosophila are strongly linked than the genes of eye color and length of the wing. That's true, my dear students. If I talk about my dear students, if I talk about the positions, if I talk about the position, my dear students, so what will you realize? The distance at which the genes of body color and eye color are placed, this distance is less in comparison to the distance where the genes of eye color and length of the wings are present. So distance between these two genes is less, distance between these two genes is more, and you know when distance is less, linkage is more, recombination is less. When distance is larger, linkage is weak recombination is easier to happen, right? So there is formation of more recombinants, with respect to the body color and eye color. No, this is exactly wrong, exactly opposite. There should be less recombinant with respect to body color and eye color than eye color and length of the wing, because the genes for body color and eye color are more closer, they are tightly linked, right? And if you see that whole image that is given in NCERT in linkage, my dear students, from where this question is made, you will see in the first case where they are talking about body color and eye color, the number of recombinants were just 1.3%, but in the second case where the eye color and length of the wing was taken, my dear students, in the dihybrid cross, there were 37.2% of the recombinants. So this is wrong, but this is right. So statement, the first one is right, statement A is correct, but statement B is incorrect. Statement A is correct, statement B is incorrect. Next question, match. So it's a little tricky one here, my dear students, so do not get confused here. You are supposed to find out the most accurate answer, right? So definitely for the model of the DNA, double helical model of the DNA, Watson, Crick both are responsible, but here Watson and Crick are in two options. But remember, central dogma was given by Francis Crick. So we will take Crick for central dogma, Watson for model of the DNA, Mischer for nuclein, and Rosalind Franklin for X-ray diffraction. So the answer goes as A 4, B 2, C 3 and D is 1. So answer is 1. Next question, E. coli with completely heavy DNA N15 was allowed to replicate in a medium having only source of nitrogen as N14. For 2 generations, the percentage of bacteria with N15, the percentage of bacteria with N15, they are saying nothing, they are not specifying anything else. Percentage of bacteria with N15 in its DNA. So we'll start with this one, my lovely kids. These are the 2 DNA, N15, N15. We will start with this. So in first generation mein kya hoga? In the first generation, what will happen? What is the medium? The medium is N14. So how DNA replication takes place? Semi-conservatively, both the strands of the DNA will separate out, although in this form they will be present in the coil form. You also know, my dear students, double stranded. They are not like these simple, like, but for to understand it better, I'm drawing like this. Okay, so these 2 strands, they have hydrogen bondings between them, they will separate and then participate in the DNA replication. You already know how DNA replication takes place. DNA helix will open up. So for the simpler understanding, I am making like this. So in front of N15 DNA replication, semi-conservative mode. So new strands will be synthesizing by using N14 as the nitrogen, and you know nucleotides out of which the DNA strands will be made up of. These nucleotides will have nitrogen base, so N needs to be taken. It will be taken from the medium where N14 is available as the only source of nitrogen. So there will be formation of 2 new strands, but they will be in opposite to the parental one. So this is the 2 daughter DNA molecules produced in the first generation from one parental DNA molecule, right? Just in case if you are getting confused, let me make it closer. Let me make this closer. Okay. So semi-conservative mode of DNA replication, one will be parental, another will be new. Parental, new, these are the 2 daughter. Now what will happen in the next generation? I have not left enough space for that. What will happen in the next generation, my lovely kids? In the second generation kya hoga? In the second generation, I am drawing the second generation over here, please do not get confused, I have occupied a lot of space over there. So in the now I am going to make the DNA molecules smaller, but don't think that they will be smaller, they will be in the same size, right? I have less space, so I am doing like that, adjustment kar rahi hu thoda, right? So ab kya hoga? In the second generation, all the two DNA molecules, both the strands on each DNA molecule will separate out. So there will be how many red? There will be 2 red. there will be 2 red and there will be 2 green. There will be 2 red and 2 green. They all are opening, right? So ये तो N14 है, ये भी N14 है. This is N15 and this is also N15. Please remember, my dear students, these red and these green, they will act as a parental generation for the second one, right? So up again the medium is N14 only. The newly synthesized strands will have N14 in there as the nitrogen in their nucleotide. So again there will be formation of N14, N14, N14 and N14. So if you see, this is the product of the second generation. क्या पूछ रहे हैं ये? Percentage of bacteria within it, they were allowed to replicate for 2 generation ना, ये रहा. They were allowed to replicate for 2 generation. The percentage of bacteria with N15 will be. So if you notice, my dear students, how many DNA molecules are having N15? These are the 2 hybrid, although they are hybrid, but they are having N15. They have not mentioned hybrid or pure, nothing. So we will go with this. So how many are there? Because 0 to likha bhi nahi hai if you go with the pure one, right? 0 is not even mentioned. So we will go with the hybrid one. So N14, N15, N14, N15. So out of the 4 daughter DNA molecules, 2 daughter DNA molecules are having N15 in them, right? So the percentage of bacteria with N15 in it will be 50%, 2 out of 4, 50%, 2 out of 4, 50%. I think everybody is understanding this. Next question. Who postulated the presence of an adapter molecule? Adapter molecule is your tRNA, right? So who postulated the presence of tRNA that would allow on one hand read the code and on the other hand would bind to the specific amino acid? The presence was postulated by Francis Crick. Pure NCERT question, Francis Crick. Next, identify the incorrect statement with spirulina. Okay, this is an example of blue-green algae, correct. It can be grown easily on a material like wastewater from potato processing, etc. This information is there in the plant breeding SCP single cell proteins. They are single cell rich in protein. They can serve as a food rich in protein, minerals, carbohydrates, vitamins, fats, etc. That's right. Their use as single cell protein can cause a lot of environmental pollution. No, this is absolutely wrong. This is absolutely wrong. So this becomes your answer, right? This is correct. ये तो सही है, but पूछा क्या है? What is asked? Incorrect. This is incorrect. Test all are correct. Virus-free plants can be obtained from virus-infected plants through meristem culture, because in meristem virus could not grow. They are actively dividing cell. From meristem culture, if you make, you can easily obtain virus-free plants from a virus-infected parental plant. Meristem culture. The major portion of wastewater in cities and towns comes from human excreta. Sewage. Which of the following would appear as the pioneer organism on bare rock for the succession? None other than lichens, lichens, however you pronounce them. First lichens, lichens, then mosses, then all these things will work, my dear students. So first who will come? First lichens or lichens will come. Next, the specific palindromic sequence which is recognized by ECOR1. ECOR1 is very simple, given in NCERT. It is GAATTC and GAATTC. Fourth one. Next question. The Taq polymerase enzyme is obtained from. The Taq polymerase enzyme is obtained from Thermus aquaticus. It is obtained from Thermus aquaticus. Thermus aquaticus. Next question. An American company illegally got the payment on variety of which crop? So, my dear students, they illegally got the payment on the basmati rice. Very famous question. Next question, in fact the last question of this class. Which of the following, which part of the tobacco plant is infected by the nematode Meloidogne incognitia? It is incognita. It is actually, my dear students, the root. They infect the root of the tobacco plant, this nematode. Alright, pretty simple. So these were your 50 questions. Thanks for listening.
Hello dear students, welcome to Infinity Learn by Sri Chaitanya. This is Dr. Priyanka and we are going to discuss the answers and solutions of our mock test. I will be discussing with you the zoology portion. Please don't forget to like and share this session and subscribe to Infinity Learn NEET channel. So let's see what is the first question on our screen. Which of the following can generate the maximum number of action potential per minute? We know that the SA node is also known as the pacemaker of heart. This pacemaker can generate around 70 to 75 beats per minute, right? Our heart is myogenic heart, that means the muscle tissue itself can generate the impulses for the contraction of heart, right? So AV node is also there, bundle of his Purkinje fibers, they all can generate action potential, but not like SA node, right? AV node is also known as the pace setter of heart. So the correct option here will be option 1. Female heterogamety is observed in, correct option is fowls. What happens in bird? There is ZZ and ZW type of sex determination, right? ZW is female and ZZ is the male, unlike human beings, right, where XX is female and XY, that is heterogamety, is exhibited by the males, right? Now let's move on to our next question. Which of the following parasites infect man through contaminated food and water? Plasmodium vivax, spread by mosquito. Wuchereria melai, also spread by Culex mosquito. Microsporum canis is spread by sharing of personal belongings because it is a fungi. So the correct option here will be Entamoeba histolytica, which is spread by contaminated food and water. Now let's move on to our next question. Match the following type of question related to the bones present in your body. Forearm. Forearm, dear students, will have only two bones, that is the radius and the ulna. Radius will be present towards the thumb and ulna in the opposite direction. So forearm will be matched with two bones. Palm have 5 bones. Wrist have 8 bones, which are known as carpals, and digits have 14 bones, right? 2 in the thumb and 3 in rest of the fingers, right? So let's see what will be the correct option. A is marked with 2 and B is marked with 3, then C is matched with 4, 1 and D is matched with 1. So correct option here will be option number 3. Let's see the next question, dear students. Fetal ejection reflex triggers the release of oxytocin from. We know that parturition is due to oxytocin released by the maternal pituitary gland, and this pituitary gland is the neurohypophysis or the posterior pituitary gland. So maternal neurohypophysis, that is the posterior pituitary gland in the mother, will release oxytocin for contraction of smooth muscles that will lead to parturition. Human skeleton includes dicondylic skull and bicephalic ribs. Yes, this is the correct answer. Condyles are the bony projections in the skull. Okay, so in humans the skull is dicondylic, that means 2 bony projections are there, and bicephalic ribs means 2 heads are there in the ribs, right? One end is attached to the sternum in the front and the another end is attached to the vertebral column at the back. Yes, there are some false and floating ribs, but we are talking about the bicephalic ribs. Rivet popper hypothesis was proposed by Paul Ehrlich. According to this hypothesis, the species are compared to the nuts and bolts present in an airplane. So if important nuts and bolts are removed from the airplane, what will happen? There will be crashing of the airplane. Similarly with our environment, if the important or the key species are removed, it will lead to crashing of our environment. So this was given by Paul Ehrlich, right? The amount of hemoglobin in 100 ml of blood in a healthy individual is around 12 to 16 grams, dear students, and not 12 to 16 milligrams. Which of the following is an active process that occurs in the nephron, right? So in the nephron, reabsorption of amino acid and glucose takes place actively, that means by utilizing the ATP, right? Mark the correct combination with respect to the human brain. Number of cerebral hemispheres are 2, which are connected by corpus callosum, tract of nerve fibers, and number of optic lobes are 4. So correct option will be 2. Optic lobes, that means the midbrain, consists of corpora quadrigemina. Corpora quadrigemina, and corpora quadrigemina consist of 4 lobes known as the optic lobe, right? Now let's move on to our next question. Ejaculatory duct is formed by the union of vas deferens and the duct from the seminal vesicle. So these duct, they will combine to form the ejaculatory duct in males. During the relaxation of muscles, calcium ions are pumped back into. We know calcium ions are very important for contraction of muscle. After they are utilized in the muscle contraction, they will go back to the sarcoplasmic reticulum, which are reservoirs of calcium ions in the muscle tissue. So they will go to sarcoplasmic reticulum. Level of potassium in the blood are elevated in Addison's disease. Addison's disease is characterized by increase in the potassium level in the blood. Why? It is due to undersecretion of aldosterone. We know aldosterone is a mineralocorticoid. This mineralocorticoid helps in reabsorption of sodium ion into the blood. So if it is not secreted adequately, then sodium ions will be excreted in blood, and ultimately potassium ions will increase in the blood, right? So potassium and sodium levels are antagonists to one another. So in our body, if sodium ions levels are going down, the potassium ions level will go up. This will lead to bronzing of skin, that is hyperpigmentation in skin. Then it will lead to weight loss. It will lead to hypotension, that is reduction in the blood pressure, right? And it is due to undersecretion of aldosterone. Also cortisol, but it is not there in the option. Cuboidal epithelium with brush border of microvilli is found in. It is found in PCT of nephron because these brush border epithelium with microvilli will increase the surface area for absorption, right? The functional role played by an organism in the ecosystem is termed as the niche. Niche is the important role that a particular organism is playing, right? That is niche. Which of the following excretory organs are found in crustaceans? Crustaceans will include prawns and crabs, and for excretion they have green glands. Green glands are the modified Malpighian tubules, you can say. They are also known as antennary glands or antennal glands, right? Malpighian tubules are there in the insects, right? Flame cells are present in the flatworms, and nephridia is present in Annelida. Bicep muscle is striated and voluntary, isn't it? We can contract and relax our biceps muscles, right? So they are striated, voluntary. They are also multinucleated. They have alternate light and dark bands. In DNA fingerprinting, the hybridized strands are detected by which of the following method? They are detected by autoradiography. Radio-labeled probes are used in this technique to attach to DNA so that they are visible under X-rays, right? What are the chances of colorblind daughters and sons, okay, being born in a marriage of normal man with a normal woman whose father was colorblind? So if the father is colorblind of that woman, that means the woman is the carrier of color blindness. Let's see this. Since man is normal, but the female is carrier, right? Because her father was affected, though she is normal, right? Now let's see what progeny will be born. It will give a female that is a carrier. This is the F1 generation, right? Now there will be a male that will be affected. Then again there will be a carrier female, and there will be a normal male, right? So let's see what are the options. All sons are normal and daughters are color blind. Daughters are the carriers, not color blind, they are normal. All sons and daughters have normal vision? No, because one of the son will be affected with color blindness, right? All the sons and daughters are colorblind? No. Half of the sons are colorblind and daughters have normal vision. See, there are two sons and one son is affected. That means yes, half of the sons are colorblind, but all the daughters have normal vision. Absolutely correct, though they are carriers, but they will have normal vision, right? Let's move on to next question. When did the first cellular forms of life appeared on earth? It was around 2000 million years ago. Simple and direct question directly from NCERT. The structural and functional unit of liver is known as hepatic lobules. These hepatic lobules are surrounded by the Glissen's capsule. And inside these hepatic lobules, the hepatocytes are arranged in a cord-like manner that secretes bile juice, right? Development of Periplaneta americana is porometabolous, that is, there is gradual metamorphosis. That means there are only 3 stages: egg, nymph, and then there is formation of adult. The pupa stage is absent from this metamorphosis, right? Now the nymph is miniature of adult. It is similar to adult, but the size is small. Color is light, and there are no wings in the nymph. Certain features are common to all vertebrates during embryonic stage, but not in adult stage. This is significant observation noted by. Now this was noted by Ernst Haeckel. According to Ernst Haeckel, there are similarities during the embryonic stage of the vertebrates, but the adults are different. Now this was an evidence, evolutionary evidence of evolution. Embryological evidence of evolution. Let's move on to our next question. The last human chromosome to be completely sequenced is. So the last human chromosome that was completely sequenced was chromosome number 1, right? Sodium potassium pump. The sodium potassium pump will throw 3 sodium outside and 2 potassium inside the membrane with the help of ATP. That's why it is known as a pump. So the correct option will be 3 sodium outward and 2 potassium into the cell. Let's move on to our next question. A disorder that is caused due to accumulation of uric acid is the gouty arthritis. Gout or gouty arthritis is the deposition of uric acid or urate crystals, right? This will lead to inflammation and pain in the joints. Let's move on to our next question. Cocaine is obtained from the species Erythroxylum coca, which is a native of North America, right? And this is a stimulant. Cocaine is a stimulant, right? It interferes with the neurotransmitter Dopamine, it interferes with the neurotransmitter dopamine and cause a sense of euphoria. Right? Now let's move on to inbreeding depression. Next question. We know what is inbreeding. Inbreeding is mating of individuals of the same breed which are not more than 4 to 5 generations apart. Now continuous inbreeding will lead to inbreeding depression. Inbreeding depression is actually reducing the fertility and the productivity due to continued close breeding, and this can be overcome by outcrossing, right? The trachea divides into primary bronchi at the level of 5th thoracic vertebra. Your trachea with the tracheal rings made up of hyaline cartilage will divide into bronchi at the 5th thoracic vertebra level. Very important question from NCERT, asked in NEET repeatedly. The thinned out portion of the retina where only the cones are densely packed is fovea centralis, right? So in the retina, there is a point which is towards the back pole, slightly lateral to the blind spot. There is an area, macula lutea, at the center is fovea centralis, that is packed densely by cones. Cones, as we know, is important for vision in the light or for color vision, right? So there the sharp image is obtained because of lots of cone concentrated in that region, right? Which of the following is an oviparous mammal? We know mammals are of 3 types: Prototheria, Metatheria and Eutheria. Prototheria are the one which are egg-laying mammals. One is Ornithorhynchus or platypus, another one is Echidna. So here the correct option will be platypus, which is egg-laying mammal. They have mammary glands for feeding their young ones, but they lay eggs. Okay. The percentage of world livestock population found in India and China is estimated to be 70%, more than 70%, but their contribution to the produce is only 25% because of lack of knowledge, lack of education, lack of the technology, right? The ear ossicles connected to the tympanic membrane is malleus. Malleus is a hammer-shaped ear ossicle. This hammer-shaped ear ossicle's handle is attached to the tympanic membrane or the eardrum, and then there is incus, and then there is stapes. Stapes is the smallest ear ossicle whose food process is associated with the oval window in the internal ear. Okay. Which of the following is a mechanism that promotes coexistence? So coexistence can be promoted only by resource partitioning. You must have heard about warblers. These are the birds. They various species of warblers will coexist in one single tree, but with the help of resource partitioning, right? What they will do, they will feed in the different regions of the tree and even during the different times of the day, right? So that is resource partitioning. A living fossil fish which was thought to be extinct was caught in 1938 in South Africa. That is the coelacanth fish. That is the coelacanth fish. Now this coelacanth fish, also known as Latimeria, is a lobed fin fish which was thought to be extinct, but later on it was found. Now this Latimeria or coelacanth fish is said to be a connecting link between the fishes and the amphibians because of their lobed fins. During allergy, mast cells release certain chemicals like, so mast cells will release heparin, which is an anticoagulant, histamine, which is a vasodilator, and serotonin, which is a vasoconstrictor. So all these three chemicals are released by mast cell at the time of allergy. So correct option here will be 2, that is histamine and serotonin. Let's move on to our next question. The opening of the stomach into the duodenum is guarded by. The correct option is pyloric sphincter. So pylorus is the end part of the stomach that is connected to the duodenum, and there is a sphincter known as pyloric sphincter to regulate the movement of partially digested food mixed with gastric juice into the duodenum. Cardiac sphincter is present at the upper end of the stomach. Esophagus connects with the stomach with the help of cardiac sphincter. We don't want regurgitation of the partially digested food with gastric juice, HCl to move back into the esophagus. So that is regulated by cardiac sphincter. Sphincter of Oddi is present at the junction of hepatopancreatic duct that forms ampulla of Vater. So it will regulate the content of hepatopancreatic duct to move into the duodenum. And sphincter of Boyden is associated with the common bile duct. It will regulate the bile juice to join with the pancreatic duct, right? Next, Government of India legalized MTP in the year 1971 with many restrictions. MTP, that is medical termination of pregnancy, is safe till the first trimester, that means in the first 3 months, right? Sacred groves are found in Khasi and Jayantia hills of Meghalaya, right? Sacred groves are the part of forests that are not touched, not exploited by the locals because of their belief. So one such sacred grove is present in Meghalaya, Khasi and Jayantia hills. It is also present in the Western Ghat region associated with Maharashtra and Karnataka. It is also present in the Aravalli hills of Rajasthan, right? Also in the Chanda Bastar region of MP, right? Which of the following sweep the ovulated egg into the fallopian tube? It is the fimbria, right? So in the fallopian tube we have isthmus, ampulla, and after that there are finger-like projections which are known as fimbria that will take the ovum and will push it into the fallopian tube, right? Which among these is the most common source of pollution of water bodies? So the most common source of pollution is domestic sewage. Now this domestic sewage is rich in nitrogen and phosphorus, because of which there is growth of algae, there will be algal bloom. Ultimately the oxygen will be utilized by them and there will not be any oxygen and sunlight reaching to the organisms which are present in that water below. So it will lead to slow death of that water body, also known as eutrophication. Productivity is the rate of production of biomass expressed in the term of. Productivity is the amount of biomass produced by the individual per unit area per unit time. So it can be measured, and it can also be measured by the energy released. So it can be measured by gram per meter square per year, and also in the form of kilocalories per meter square per year. So the correct option here will be option 3, that is 2 and 4 both. Next question. Which of the following animals exhibit metagenesis? So what is metagenesis? Metagenesis is alternation of generation. Alternation of generation. Okay, that means polyp will form medusa asexually and medusa will form polyp sexually, right? That means if in one generation the organism exhibit a morphology of a polyp like a hydra, that means tentacles are present at the top of the head and mouth is also, which is known as hypostome, is also located at the anterior end. So that is a polyp. Medusa is like an inverted cup. You must have seen the jellyfishes. So that is the Medusa stage, right? So if in one generation an organism is polyp-like, and in the another generation the organism is like a Medusa, and then again next generation will be polyp. So this is alternation of generation. It is there in Cnidaria, okay, Coelenterata. So Obelia will exhibit metagenesis, and also Physalia, which is actually Portuguese men of war. The common name of Physalia is Portuguese men of war. It can also exhibit the metagenesis. Next question. The best solution for the treatment of e-waste is recycling. The best way by which we can treat the e-waste is recycling them, right? Low blood glucose in the human body will stimulate the release of. We know that glucagon is the hormone released from the alpha cells of pancreas. Now this glucagon is related to hyperglycemia. It will increase the blood glucose level, right? Insulin is the one that is released from the beta cells of islets of Langerhans of pancreas, and it causes hypoglycemia. That means it reduces the blood glucose level. Melatonin is a hormone related to the formation of melanin. Vasopressin is ADH. It causes reabsorption of water from DCT and collecting duct, right? Let's move on to next question. The primary producers of the deep sea hydrothermal vent ecosystem are chemosynthetic bacteria. Only these type of bacteria can survive in so much of pressure, so much of temperature. They also use chemicals for their production of energy, right? For example, sulfur or methane, right? So correct option for this question will be 2. In case of snake bite, the injection which is given to the patient, see, during snake bite we cannot wait for the body to produce antibodies by introducing the heat killed or the attenuated pathogen or the toxin inside the body. The person will die. So we need to inject the preformed antibodies into the body, and these preformed antibodies, when they are injected into the body, it is a type of artificial passive immunity. Artificial because we are injecting something from outside, preformed, and since directly antibodies are injected, so therefore it is passive immunity. Okay. Antithrombin obtained from the milk of a transgenic goat is used to remove clots. Yes. Another biological product, alpha-1 antitrypsin, is also obtained from transgenic sheep, is used in the treatment of emphysema. Emphysema is of 2 types: acquired, which is caused due to smoking, and congenital, which is caused due to deficiency of alpha-1 antitrypsin enzyme. So what happens in emphysema? The alveoli walls are damaged, because of which there is reduction in the respiratory surface area. The surface area for the exchange of gases is reduced because of maybe smoking or because of this deficiency of this enzyme alpha-1 antitrypsin, right? This acquired emphysema is also known as pink puffer's disease, and this congenital emphysema is also known as blue bloater's disease, right? So this alpha-1 antitrypsin will be used to treat emphysema, right? Which ion are released in the multiload 375? We all know that IUDs, that is copper T, copper 7, and multiload 375 are the one that releases copper ion, right? Now these copper ions will reduce the motility and the fertilizing capacity of the sperm. by hindering the activity of mitochondria in the sperm, right? So yes, this multi-load 375 will release copper. There are more questions asked from this IUD. These IUDs like Lippus lube, that is non-medicated IUD, it will prevent the implantation and it will prevent the growth of embryo into the uterus. There is one more IUD that releases hormones like the LNG20, Progestasert, and this is the copper releasing IUD, multi-load 375, copper 7 and copper T. Okay. Now next question. The total volume of air a person can inspire after a normal expiration, that volume is known as inspiratory capacity. Okay. So what is inspiratory capacity? It is the total volume of air a person can inspire or inhale after normal expiration, which is tidal volume plus inspiratory reserve volume. Okay, so inspiratory capacity is tidal volume plus inspiratory reserve volume. So that was all for today, dear students. Hope you all have enjoyed this session. We are coming again with the solutions of your mock test, right? Please don't forget to like and share this session. Subscribe Infinity Learn NEET channel if you haven't subscribed it yet. And please don't forget to join us on 17th of July. On 17th of July, we will come in front of you with the solutions of NEET examination. Okay, so see you then and see you in the next class. Take care, dear students. Bye bye.